You're listening to the Rebel Rebel podcast with Rory Carson. Tá sé bhgéisteach leis an fód Cooley Rebel Rebel le Rory McCarson.
Well, folks, what's the crack? He's all doing? Welcome along back into Rebel Sundays with myself, Big Ro, on the Rebel podcast here till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Just before kick-off, it's as if the powers that be at Sky, whoever it is showing the match today, knew that the Rebel Sundays was going to be on, and they thought, listen, we'll wait at the 4 o'clock to start the match so Ro can get his show out of the way. So cheers, lads, whoever thought that up. Thank you very much. Yeah, folks, second week, so as you know, we're going every 2 weeks now. So just before we kick off, apologies for our last show. Obviously, the interview didn't go to plan as what happened, but obviously I gave a bit of a statement last week of what happened. So I'll just be brief. Basically, if any were listening to the interview from the start, I sort of purposely cut it off pretty early. So I did. And a lot of you will probably know now why. I mean, I was getting a lot of texts midway through the first few questions, and so I sort of took it upon myself to say, listen, this isn't going well. It's not going to go too well. It'll probably end up worse throughout the interview. So I made the decision to cut the interview pretty early, which is the very, very first time I've ever done that there. And apologies, obviously, to Paddy for having to do that there. But for me, as I said, the amount of work I put into doing this show, preparation for getting the questions, all the music, graphics all together, and I'm not going to be insulted basically by any guest coming onto the show, whether that sounds harsh or not. So my apologies, folks, to yourselves as well. I know that day I was pretty cagey and I'd sort of say, listen, no, I think we've lost him here, but the way it was, I had to cut the interview off for all users and myself as well, and that's why I actually deleted all of the recording. Normally people will go back and watch the show at night or the week after or something, whatever stuff. But I sort of took the decision to say, listen, I don't want anybody to hear that or any part of the interview. So rather than sort of try and edit it out and cut that bit out and then put the rest together, I said, no, I'm just going to cut the whole show from last week. So anybody that wanted to watch the last show, my apologies. There's no evidence of it anywhere on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube. But hopefully today's goes a bit better. Going to be joined on 2 o'clock, folks, here live on screen by the lads Dylan and Barry from the Coolies from County Louth, sort of the newest two-piece rebel band that hit the scene here in Ireland. It's great to see loads of new bands popping up all the time. So it is. So we're going to have the two lads on before they head off to Derry today. They're playing up at the Kosh Bar with our very own Stefan. I'm sure they'll be looking forward to that gig. So they will. Right, a few wee shout-outs, folks. First, as always, if you're watching the show on Facebook, please hit the share button for me. Now, to be honest, my algorithm has been getting more noticeable over the last since the start of the year, which is great. So cheers to Facebook for that there. My posts are getting a lot more coverage. The show's getting a lot more coverage, but I still need all users to share the show for me. So if you're watching on Facebook, hit the wee share button. Any Republican groups, Irish groups, Celtic groups, around your friends and family if you can. Don't get as many people watching the show as possible. It's much appreciated. If you're watching on Twitter, welcome along. Please give us a wee retweet of the show. And also, if you're watching on our main channel on YouTube, you can copy and paste the link and send it around anywhere you want. So you can. Also, if you are watching the show later on, welcome along. Thanks for coming back and watching the show, downloading it, whatever you're doing. It's much, much appreciated. Right, so we've got a few wee shout-outs before we get on the first song of the day's show. That's who you have watching in. Dahi, John Staines today. Hail. Come on the Celtic indeed. Yeah, 4 o'clock kickoff. Watching today on Facebook. First YouTuber Scott Temps. How you doing, Scott? How you doing? Marty Heaney, our resident spanner holder and rapper of Knuckles, is here today, ready to go. Take any shit. He'd be straight on in and boot everybody out. Des Belfast, Ireland, how you doing, Des? Watching on YouTube today. Stuart Skillen, how you doing, Stuart? Afternoon row, come on the hoops indeed. Good friend James Devon McClave. Looking forward to seeing you next weekend, man, over here in Belfast. We're going to be going to this here gig next Sunday, which we'll talk about later on at the Carrickdale. Dan Breen, watching YouTube. Good afternoon. What's crack, Henry? Come on, hail the hoops. Ray Callahan, the first of our dirty dubs. Watching today, cheers mate, yourself and Karen. Hugh McKenna, happy birthday Hugh, for during the week I made have seen you had a good time. You're really loading up, so fair play to you, mucker. Terry Mealy watching on YouTube today. Marty saying, yeah, I done right. I see the bum fluff is coming on rightly. Yes, I was waiting on somebody to mention that there. Yes, it is. That's, to be honest, I think even Laura's started getting around this here at the start. She didn't like it, but yeah, it's coming on really. It's more of a bit of a what you can't see. It's actually quite grey. I think this here is maybe 80% grey. This here man beard thing that I'm having coming on, but I actually like it, folks. So I hope you all agree. It's here to stay. So I'll have to make the best of it. So do Paul Walsh and the Rebel County of Cork listening, and Sonny Yogle in the Rebel County. Cheers, mate. Tony Lease today watching on Facebook. How you doing? Hail. Ronan McDonald. What's cracking me? Ian Derry today or Coatbridge? Where are you? Dan says, yeah, your goatee is coming along well. It is, mate. It's coming on right there, so it is. I'm getting used to this here sort of man grooming daily. But it's, yeah, I'm starting to get used to it. Neil Costigan, now doing, mate. Good morning, all. Bright and early, almost 8 a.m. and balmy, 36 degrees here in Staten Island. Cheers, mate. Out of dedication, 8 o'clock in the morning, live in USA, watching the show. Good man yourself. Richard O'Callaghan, another one of our dirty dubs, but a fellow West Belfastian. Play something about Bloody Sunday. Never forget them, mate. How can I do today's show without playing something about Bloody Sunday? Come on. I'm sure you must know me better than that there, but aye. Sammy Marshall from the Coatbridge. Massive afternoon, boys and girls. Good man yourself. Edward Strain. Hail, Bells Hill. Ben. Yes, Stuart, that's going to be the first song on the show today, don't you worry. John Boy McElhaney, good afternoon. Hope you all had a good birthday, mate. Yes, it was good. Nothing too strenuous. Did not do nothing too mad. Had a nice steak dinner on Thursday night, which is all I wanted. So, you know me. Martin Heath. By the way, it was Rose's birthday this past week, folks. Yes, it was. The big 44. Did I look 44? People tell me that all the time. They go, look at that wee baby face of yours. You do not look 44. But unfortunately I am. Don't feel it at all. Maggie Lowe, good afternoon. Love your show. Can I have a shout out for my friend's birthday? Her name is Anne Keenan. Yes, not a problem. Anne, happy birthday from everyone here on Rebel Sundays. Neil Costigan says, the beard looks great. Yeah, well, Neil, I have a long way to go to get looking like yours, but it's coming on nicely, so it is. Michael O'Malley, what's crack, Mick? One of the row? What do you got? One of the row? What do you mean say Mon the row? Do you mean Mon shut up and get some music on, or come on the row? What's the crack? Right, so yeah, folks, we want to do first song of the day. Be no surprise, obviously. People have been travelling in their droves to Derry this afternoon, and this weekend is the 51st anniversary of the massacre that happened on Bloody Sunday in Derry in 1972. You cannot get a room in Derry anywhere this weekend. I know people have been texting me saying, Jesus, I'm trying to get up to Derry this weekend. Cannot get a room anywhere. Every single place is booked out, which is great to see. A lot of different events happening all over Derry for different sort of Republican groups, different sort of political groups, different sort of socialist groups. And it's great to see all this happening, you know what I mean? For all these different events happening, all in sort of memory of the victims of Bloody Sunday. So whatever you're getting up to this weekend, folks in Derry, have a good one, have a safe one. I know that it's going to be mad this weekend. So yeah, first song of the day we're going to play is obviously Sunday, Bloody Sunday. And I think, the one I always play is Gary Oak's version the Oak version from Live in the Brazen Head. When we done the 50th anniversary last year, it was obviously the first song we sort of started off with the whole sort of afternoon of songs from sort of the sort of obviously what happened on Bloody Sunday, which still for me was one of the best shows I've done in this show, one of the best episodes. It was really sort of heartening to hear a lot of the sort of comments people were making, a lot of work on that show. So you can still go and watch that back if you want to, folks. Just go back to obviously this day last year. It's on the YouTube channel. But yeah, lots of great songs and sort of graphics and all. We had done a wee video at the start of that day at the Guildhall when obviously David Cameron give the apology. Still, like, when you watch that, just gives me shivers up my spine. Obviously hearing like a British Prime Minister coming out and apologising for the British state for something that they've done, which was massive, still massive it happened. Right, so yeah, folks, first song of the day on the 51st anniversary of Bloody Sunday. This is Oak, folks, with Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
This next song we're going to do is dedicated to the 14 innocent civilians whose lives were cruelly taken away from them from the Royal Paratroop Regiment on Bloody Sunday. A song called Sunday, Bloody Sunday. a Sunday, bloody Sunday, when they shot the people there. The cry of 14 martyrs filled the very air. Is there anyone amongst you that's to blame it on the kids? That a soldier boy was bleeding when they nailed the coffin lids. Sunday, bloody Sunday, bloody Sunday's the day. Sunday, bloody Sunday, bloody Sunday's the day. Well, you claim to be a majority, well, you know that's a lie. You're really a minority on the sweet Emerald Isle. When storming panzer marches, they've got a lot to learn. Internment is no answer, it's those mothers turn to burn. Sunday, bloody Sunday, bloody Sunday's the day. Sunday, bloody Sunday, bloody Sunday's the day. Well, you Anglo-Pigs and Scotties sent to colonise the North, you wave your fucking Union Jack, well, you know what it's worth. How dare you hold to ransom our people proud and free? Leave Ireland for the Irish, turn the British back to sea. Sunday, bloody Sunday, bloody Sunday's the day. Sunday, bloody Sunday, bloody Sunday's the day. Oh, and it's always bloody Sunday in the concentration camps. Keep the foes were free from ever, from those bloody English hands. Repatriates of Britain, all the who call it home. Leave Ireland for the Irish, not for London or for Rome. Sunday, bloody Sunday, bloody Sunday's the day. Sunday, bloody Sunday, bloody Sunday's the day. Sunday, bloody Sunday, bloody Sunday's the day. Thanks very much, thank you.
Yeah, this is the sound of Earl Gur, folks, with Sunday, bloody Sunday. And we'll just keep this here picture on the screen for a few more seconds, folks. Just to get that guy's face in your head. Great mural, obviously, unveiled in Derry this week of Mike Jackson, which definitely is a war criminal. I know a lot of people, there was a bit of outcry as well. Some people had said, oh, the mural shouldn't have went up. Obviously, it's reminding people who this guy was and their victims and all and stuff, but they should be reminded who this guy was. This was the guy that basically gave the orders for those animals to go out and just basically shoot at will at people, obviously running across the road or whatever, and just pick them out like targets with live rounds. This is the man who should be tried for the victims of Bloody Sunday. And unfortunately, he's being hailed as a hero. So he is, which is absolutely disgusting. By a lot of sort of obviously veterans groups and stuff, and the likes of Jimmy Brace and all them other idiots. But yeah, we'll just keep this on the screen here at the minute, and then we're going to put this up here now, just the real victims in here. So we'll just give a moment's silence here, folks, for all the victims of Bloody Sunday. There we go. Yeah, so thanks very much, sir. Right, folks, any requests you have, get them. We're here to 4 o'clock today, just before kick-off, which is great. And we do have the Coolies, Barry and Dylan, the two lads from County Louth. They're going to be on the show before they head off to Derry today. They're going to be on about 2 o'clock. It just reminds me I have to send them the link to the show so they can get on. So a few more comments. We'll just jump in and see what else we'll have. People asking, let's see. Lee Curry, how you doing, Lee? Hello, everyone. Happy Rebel Sunday. Peter Middleton, Chucky Arda from Brosna, North Kerry. Jesus, I can just hear your Kerry voice there now. You're saying it there, whatever. Like, what's your wee man? Them two brothers, the two TDs. I have to laugh at them every time I listen to them. In the dial, what do I call them? One of them wears the flat cap. What the hell's his name? Escape me now. They're a bit of a hoot, to be honest, listening to them. See Derek Learney, what's crack? Yourself and Val, afternoon row in the gang from sunny Dublin. Martin Heaney says, yes, I'm going to put that graphic up next to it, Marty. Yeah, thoughts and prayers to our friend Paddy Mangan on the sad passing of his dad John this week. Of course, yeah, so we're going to do a wee bit of dedication to John next, so we are, once we get the rest of these here comments out of the way. But yes, obviously Paddy, good friend of mine, good friend of the show. I know he's been suffering a lot over the last probably year since his dad's been in and out of hospital regularly, and unfortunately last week he passed away. So he did. Elaine says, Ro, you're sporting it well. Do you mean the goatee, this thing here? Your man tried and looked like Santa. Joseph McGowan, what's crack? Joseph, hail, Ro, afternoon. Ciara Griffin, watching the show on Facebook today. Good afternoon, everyone. Hugh McCann is looking for, can I play Chris Carney's Joe McDonnell? Yes, not a problem, Hugh. I'll do that for your birthday, okay? I'll see if I can find the version of it. Dan Breen as well says, could you please play The Town I Love So Well by Luke Kelly, whose anniversary is tomorrow also. Didn't know what there, mate. Celine, what's crack? Good afternoon, everyone. Celine, I've seen that bloody chair you won for your wee man. Jesus Christ. Like, you need to tell me what way. See these competitions you do. Do you pay to enter them or something? Or do you pay a subscription or something? Because it seems like every day you're basically saying, I won this, I won that, I won that. So I mean, what's going on? You couldn't just be that lucky. So you couldn't be like, there's my ma, listen, downstairs today, can you play Women of Ireland for my sister Anya? It's her birthday today. She's in Derry, but I will let her know. Yes, I will. We'll do it later on. So Anya, whose birthday it is today, what's three days after mine. So she's up in Derry today with her friends. See, Joseph McGuire says they paint ballad. The paintballed his face last night, so they did. John says, yeah, Jackie Duddy, please, we're going to finish off the show that today as well, okay? Obviously, we'll start off the show with a song with Bloody Sunday, and we're going to finish up the show with a song about Bloody Sunday, so you'll have to tune in to the end if you want to hear Jackie Duddy. Let's see, Kieran Boyce says, the Little McGranny's bin, please. Let's see, Kieran, what's the crack, mate? The Healy Rays, yes, that's them there. The Healy Rays. Them boys. Right, let's see. So I think we'll get a few more comments after we do this next one. So yeah, as I said, during the week there, unfortunately, Paddy Mangan's dad John passed away. This is the graphic now. We'll put on the picture of him. We'll keep this here up throughout the song. I know John was very, very proud of what Paddy has done over the years in his music career, and why shouldn't he be? And basically, Paddy has been a great son, as he's been by his dad's side. Literally for the last year since he's took a turn for the worst. Obviously he's been updating everybody on his Facebook page of how his dad's been doing and stuff. So thoughts go out to Paddy Mangan and all of his family. So we're going to do a song now actually from Paddy, and actually from wee Eddie Kane as well, who's away over to America at the minute with Derek Warfield and the young Wolftone. So good luck to the young Eddie, who's busy living his dream. Get out there with Derek and Damaris and all the rest of the crowd. Have a great time touring around America. One of probably the best ballad bands in this country at the minute. So fair play to him. So obviously, it was last year, maybe the year before, Paddy Mangan and Eddie recorded a few songs. They've done a few videos for them. So the one we're going to do now is the one they busy jointly done called obviously the ballad Ian McAnespy. Which probably point this week as well, because it's been announced this year, boy who was the soldier killed, murdered, Ian McAnespy. It's going to be sentenced next week. So we're going to do this now. So this is the ballad of Aidan McAnespy from Paddy Mangan and Eddie Kane. They say we'll just keep this wee graphic on the screen now of Paddy and his dad John, who sadly passed away this week.
Was on a Sunday evening, as the sun shone in the sky, So he walked his way to the Gaelic pitch, and he'd think he was going to die. But as he crossed the checkpoint, oh, the sound of gunfire came. The news spread through that border town, oh, Aidan McInnesby's dead. Oh, why did you do it? Had you not the guts to say? You say it was an accident, or even a ricochet. Just like Loughall and Gibraltar, oh, your lies are well renowned. You murdered Aidan McInnesby on his way to the Gaelic ground. Oh, for years he was harassed by the forces of the crown. So he went to work every day, he left his native town. The soldiers, they swore they'd get him, for reasons no one could say. And sure enough, they murdered him in cold blood on that sunny day. Well, the people, they heard a gunfire, and they came from miles around. They saw that young man lying there, he was dying on the ground. His flow of life was ending fast, and people, they tried their best. That bullet wound was far too deep, it passed right through his chest. Oh, why did you do it? Had you not the guts to say? You say it was an accident, or even a ricochet. But like Loughall and Gibraltar, oh, your lies are well renowned. You murdered Aidan McInnesby on his way to the Gaelic ground. For Aidan's life was ending, it was time for Judgment Day. The soldier jumped down from the tower, and that coward, he slipped away. God's curse on you, Britain, for this cruel deed done. And God will have the final say when your judgment day comes. For to say it was an accident, sure that's the greatest crime of all. For his heartbroken family, no worse they could befall. Across now marks that lonely spot where Aidan was shot down. So he walked on that Sunday evening on his way to the Gaelic ground. Oh, why did you do it? Had you not the guts to say? You say it was an accident, or even a ricochet. But like Loughall and Gibraltar, oh, your lies are well renowned. You murdered Aidan McInnesby on his way to the Gaelic ground. Yes, you murdered young Aidan McInnesby on his way to the Gaelic ground.
Sort of Paddy Mangan there and young Eddie Kane with the bottle of Aidan McInnesby, and I say at their home, we'll go do one of Paddy's songs there just for obviously his memory of his dad. John, who passed away this week. That's the graphic on the screen, folks. So, yeah, thanks very much for all your lovely comments there. I'm sure Paddy will find those quite heartwarming and very welcome. I know he did during the week. He came on to my comment on the Facebook page and basically just thanked everybody and stuff. So, right, a few more comments. Let's see. There's loads of requests coming in, which is great. So it is. Let's see, Maura Burns, how you doing, Maura? What's the crack over there on Cope Ridge as well? Ray Callahan. Yep, Derek, looking forward to next Saturday. Hitting Patters about 1:30 for a few of them, but before Balladfest. Yeah, folks, just about Balladfest next week. Obviously, the lineup has slightly changed. This was meant to be the lineup, so it was obviously the Irish Brigade, Christopher and Gobra. I think he's playing with Robbie Darcy as well now. Emer's full band. Which was then obviously Gary Ogue was playing as well, but that's now changed. Unfortunately, Gary Ogue cannot make the gig due to busy circumstances. Really can't really go into but so he's now not playing, so he isn't. So this is the I'll just take this here off the bottom so you can see the new lineup. So it's going to be obviously Aaron Gobra, Chris and Robbie, the Irish Brigade full band, Emer Rebel are full band, and then the Old Brigade, which is Paddy Mangan and Fran O'Mara. They're going to be kicking things off. So obviously I know a lot of these were saying like he's bought the tickets and all for because Gary was doing the gig, but listen, it's still going to be a great gig. So you can go to Aidan was saying looking like by next week there's going to be 1,000 tickets sold, which was great. Like I think that's maybe 500 off of what filling at their hall out, which is it's a massive hall to fill, so it is. So yeah, if you want to go, folks, just go to patterbrowns.com and you get your tickets for Balladfest 4 that's happening at the National Stadium in Dublin next Saturday, the 4th of February. And one gig that Gary definitely is going to be doing is this one, which we're really, really looking forward to next Sunday night. The Break for the Border Rebel Night taking place in the Carrickdale Hotel. So well done to our winners who's going to be there. So Anthony Murphy was the last winner, 2 tickets. Marty Heaney, our resident spanner, was the first of the winners, I think it was. And then obviously James Devon McClave as well won the other tickets, so well done. James coming over from Birmingham for the gig. So if you want to go, folks, tickets are €15. So this is going to be the lineup of the night that's been announced already. So kicking things off, I'm going to be playing a few tunes from about I think from about 6 o'clock onwards, just while people are coming in. And then Liam MacDonald from Newry is going to be on stage first, so he is. And then from County Kerry, Richie and the lads, Dreams of Freedom, are going to be on next late band. Then Clover from County Limerick, they take to the stage. And then finishing off the night, which is going to be phenomenal, Gary Ogue. So really looking forward to sharing the stage with Gary once again. Done so many times over the last couple of years, which has been a great honour. So yeah, I'm going to be there next Sunday, folks, obviously introducing all the bands on stage. So I am, and just doing obviously your MC for the night. So cheers to all the lads from the Mora Drum, Sinn Féin coming there in County Louth, who are organising this gig, who have asked me to come along, and cheers for putting us up in the hotel as well. It's much appreciated. Thank you very much. It means don't have to be heading back to Belfast that night, which is great. So yeah, folks, you can get your tickets still. There's a wee QR code there on the screen. If you just scan that there, it'll bring you straight to it, or just go to Eventbrite. It'll bring you, look for Break for the Border Rebel Night. So yep, looking forward to that. Hopefully see a few of you there next Sunday. Right, so we've got a few more comments forward to the next song of the day, folks. Yeah, this is Rebel Sundays on the Rebel podcast with myself, Big Ro, multi-streaming here on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter till 4 o'clock. So if you can't share the stream, please do, folks. Just hit the wee share button, whatever platform you're watching. If you're on Twitter, give us a wee retweet. If you're watching on YouTube, you can copy and paste the link and send it around whatever you want to. If you're watching on Facebook, just hit the wee share button. And if you want to share it to any groups you're part of, that would be much appreciated as well. Right, let's see who else we'll have here. Patricia McCullough, hope you had a great birthday. Yes, thank you very much. Joseph Pierce. Looking well, Ro. You're the spitting image of Big Ange. Basically, maybe I've had a grey wig on with the hair stretched back. I might look. I look like Big Ange right now. Carlan McCrory, what's the crack? Carlan, good afternoon, all from the east end of Glasgow. Marcus Reid is watching in Motherwell today. And Mick McAdam is watching in Banbury in Oxfordshire as normal on Facebook, folks. Thanks very much, mate. So we'll go to this one here for Hugh McKenna. He was celebrating his birthday during the week, so happy birthday, Hugh. So he was looking for Joe McDonnell from Chris Carney. So this is from Chris's album, recorded live in Potter Brown's. Good few years ago now, but still one of the most albums I play whenever I'm doing a lot of the Rebel gigs. I will play a lot of the songs from this album. I love the crowd in the background in this song. Really gets to you. It's a great atmosphere, especially these Potters are so small. A bar I've yet to be in, but hopefully this year I'm going to be there and get the sample there, because I really want to see that mural that Donald Devaney painted. It's on the stage. I really want to see it up front. So here we go. It's the ballad Joe McDonnell from Chris Carney, Laban Potter Brown. Spicy for Hugh McKenna, mate, on your birthday this week.
Here's a requested song dedicated in memory of a young man who was fifth in line to die in the hunger strike of 1981. So we requested a song called Joe McDonnell. Oh, my name is Joe McDonnell. From Belfast I came, but city I'll never see again. For in the town of Belfast I spent many happy days. I loved that town in oh so many ways. For there I spent my childhood, and I begged for me a wife. I then set out to make for her a life. I would saw my young ambitions, but with bitterness and hate, I soon found myself inside a prison gate. And you dare to call me a terrorist while you look down your gun. When I think of all the things that you have done, you have plundered many nations, divided many lands. Potter Brown, sing it. You have terrorized our people. You rule with an iron hand, and you brought this reign of terror to my land. Through those many months interment in the midst of that Longish, I thought about my land throughout those days. Why my country it was divided, why I was now in jail, in prison with a crime or a trial. And though I love my country, I am not a bitter man. I've seen cruelty and injustice at first hand. So then, one fateful morning, I shook off freedom's hand. For right or wrong, I'll fight to free my land. And you dare to call me a terrorist while you down your gun. When I think of all the things that you have done, that you have plundered many nations, divided many lands. Sing it. You have terrorized our people. You rule with an iron hand, and you brought this reign of terror to my land. Then one cold October
summer's morning, trapped in a lion's den, I found myself imprisoned once again. I was committed to the H blocks for 14 years or more, on the blankets or conditions they were poor. Then a hunger strike we did commence for the dignity of man, but it seemed to me that no one gave a damn. But now I am a sad man. I watched my comrades die. If only people cared or wondered why. And you dare to call me a terrorist while you down you're gone. When I think of all the things that you have done, you have plundered many nations, you divided many lands, you have terrorized our people, you're a whip and an iron hand, and you brought this reign of terror to my land. May God shine on you boys' eyes this courage that you have shown. May your glory and your name be widely known. And the young Francis shoes and Raymond Creech who died unselfishly, and Patsy O'Hara and Beth and Linus Lee, and to those who lie behind me, may your prayers be the same. I pray to God that our lives were not in vain. But sad and bitter was that year of 1981, when everything was lost and still nothing has been won. Oh, Harry Hughes, McCreesh and Sands, Doherty and Lynch, McDonald, Hearst and Michael, we divine. Joe McDonald, thank you.
Go ahead, Chris. There, that's Chris Carney, folks, who's going to be appearing at Ballfest next Saturday in the National Stadium in Dublin there. With the ballad of Joe McDonald. Absolutely cracking version there from his album recorded live in Potter Browns. You can go and check it out. It's on Spotify with all the rest of his stuff. And just after talking about Chris and Potter Browns, just condolences to Chris and his family. Obviously, his nephew Jamie, who was one of the bar staff in Potter Browns, passed away. It was last week, the week before. He was buried last week. So just thinking of Aidan and Lee and all the staff in Potters, and of course Chris and all his family on the passing of Jamie. I know there's a lot of heartfelt messages went out last week in memory of the young man from all that of the punters and the bands and all that played in the bar. So just thinking of Jamie, the barman from Potters, who was obviously working there for a good while and well known to all the customers and staff and stuff and the bands. So just condolences to him and all his family this afternoon. Right, back to a few of the comments. Let's see what we have happening here, folks. Today on Rebel Sundays on the 29th of January. Let's see. There you go. Hugh, not a problem, mate. Sinead, what's the crack, missus? How you doing? You had we needed last night, did you? You're loving the life here, aren't you? But here, cheers for tuning in the last few weeks of the show. Much appreciated. Marty, what's your prediction for the game today? Well, here, if we can get an R 9-0, let's maybe go for 10-0 this time. But I suppose it's a Tannadice. But hopefully we're going to see this new boy signing. Or starting today. It looks like he's ready and raring to go. I was listening to Ange's press conference the other day there, and obviously he speaks very, very highly of him. He's been trying to get him in for this lot for a good while now, so he has. So hopefully, Ange, he knows his players, his players from out that direction. So hopefully this young boy will come in and do the business. So obviously it looks like Giakoumakis is definitely going. He's going to these Red Wings or something from over in the J League, and I see Juranovic is away as well. So good luck to him. Listen, no matter what people say, he's been a great servant to the club. He came in there obviously last year, done a great job. Obviously hasn't been as great from after the World Cup, so he hasn't. I think his heart hasn't really been in it, so maybe before the World Cup as well. But obviously he was looking for a move, but I think most of last season he was pivotal at right back there. So but it looks obviously Alan's just brought in this new boy, the Canadian, and he's doing the job already. So I'm going to say today 5-0. That's my prediction, okay? 5-0. What is the crack, Marty? From Twice Daily, Irish Group, cheers. Great show as always. Good man yourself. Sinead, I absolutely love that song. One of my personal favourites. Let's see. Ray Collins says R.I.P. Jamie indeed. Says Dom. It says Marty, you sure we 9-0 this time enough. David Watson says greetings from Clown, North Derbyshire. Love the show. Can you play Farewell to Palahi? Right. So somebody as well asked me to play. I think it was Kira was looking for Emer's version of Farewell to Palahi. So we'll try and get that on throughout the show today. So not a problem. We'll play it. David says, great show as well. Let's see. I think there's catch up on these now. Snowy O'Donnell. How you doing? What's the crack, pal? Loving the show. Thank you very much. Sean P. Ferguson. Rule of Honour or Bloody Sunday? Well, I played Bloody Sunday at the start of the show. We'll maybe get Rule of Honour on later on. Angela, another one of our American contingent watching the show today. Angela Meehan Piriano. What a name. Francis Hughes, please. Right, we'll try and fit that on as well. Sammy Marshall. George and Pop for the Bloody Sunday families. Always remember and never forgotten. Right. We'll try and fit that on as well. So that's what I'll put up this here screen here. Right, so we're going to do a song here now. Somebody asked for the lid of my granny's bin earlier on, so I'm not sure who it was. I'm not trawling back through these comments again. So what was you that asked for the lid of my granny's bin? Let me know, and I'll give you an early shout out. So somebody we're going to be having the show, right? You see me putting up all the flyers for all the guests over the next few weeks. So who we're meant to be having these guys on the show today, folks. Erigal, the two Kierans, we're meant to be appearing on the show. The word meant to be in Derry this afternoon as well, playing, but. You know what the crack with bands is. Bands have wee arguments and they break up, they stay apart for a while or whatever and stuff, and the handbags get through up and the wee fisticuffs and all whatever things happen and stuff, and they end up breaking up and then getting back together and whatever. So at the minute, obviously, Erigal, the two lads are no longer as a band. I don't know whether they will get back together or not again, but Kieran Dowling, the main, obviously, the guy who's the singer and the guitar player on the right hand side of the you can see there. So he is now obviously set up on his own just as Erigal Rebel Music. So Kieran is going to come on the show in the next couple of months. So I sort of said to him, listen, the day's show, I'm going to leave. I think he did want to come on. I said, listen, give it a few months, mate. Get out on your own, do your own thing, whatever. Get a bit of stuff recorded. I know he has been recording a lot of music over the last few weeks, which is great to see. So get a few things recorded and then we'll get you on. Obviously, once you're up and running as a solo singer. And he's like, right, mate, no problem. So obviously, we've moved forward the lads from the Coolies. So they weren't meant to be on in another few weeks' time. So obviously the 26th of February they were supposed to be on. But it's now looking like on the 26th of February the show isn't going to be on. So we may have to do the show the week before that there. So maybe because on the 26th of February now you're going to be catching your boy doing 2 gigs here on the Falls Road. First up, I'm going to be here at Nancy Mulligan's, probably the only sort of rebel and Celtic bar in Belfast city centre. So before the cup final, I'm going to be kicking things off from 1 p.m. Down Nancy Mulligan's. right up until kick-off, and then I'll be playing a few tunes at half-time as well in Nancy Mulligan. So get yourself down there. It's going to be a great day. So we'll have the match on at 3 o'clock, and then afterwards Jerry Ogue, then Jerry McLaren, and then finishing up with Sean Ogue on the night. So after the match is finished, I'm going to be heading up this way, up the road, a few miles up the road, and heading to the home of Rebel Sundays, the Rock Bar. So upstairs, we're going to have Marty and the lads there from Twice Daily. We're going to be playing before the match and then after the match, and then as soon as Twice Daily are finished, I'm going to be taking over upstairs before obviously Rebel Sunday starts downstairs. So yeah, that's looking forward to that there. So that's on Sunday the 26th of February. I'm going to be in Nancy Mulligan's first, and then down or up the road in the Rock Bar. So cheers to all the bars who's here starting to give me all the gigs now for the Rebel Row stuff. Really appreciate it. Looking at a lot more gigs we planned over the next few weeks and months throughout the year, which I'm really glad to see. So one of the guys we do have taking place at the end of March is Kev O'Driscoll. So we're going to play a song from Kev's album now. It's great to see he has it back up on Spotify. If you want to hear any Kev songs, his music is on Spotify. His album is called Rebel Blood, Fenian Heart. So this one we're going to do now is called The Little McGranny's Bin. This album, he went and recorded it in Styx's studio there last year. Maybe it was last year, maybe even the year before. But great album, so cheers to Styx as well for doing such a great job playing all the instruments in the background along with Kev. So whoever it was asked for Little McGranny's Bin, this one's for you, and this is Kev O'D with from his album Rebel Blood, Rebel Heart, The Lid of McGranny's Bin on Rebel Sundays.
As I was climbing into bed, my poor granny's side, I looked out of the window, the Brits they had arrived. The house was soon surrounded, they battered the front door in. I knew they came to take away the lid of me granny's bin. Well, she opened up her window and she clambered down the spout. Soon her bin was rattling for to call her neighbours out. She then took out a whistle and she blew away like hell. And soon we heard the echo as the neighbours blew as well. And it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. Well, a soldier came right up the stairs, a rifle in his hand. She kicked him with her button boots and along the hall she ran. Up came another one, some medals for him to win. But all he got right up his gob was the lid of me granny's bin. And it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. Well, the music rose like thunder as the bins and whistles played. The enemy soon retreated, they knew they'd overstayed. It wasn't made of silver, it was only made of tin. But once again it saved the street, the lid of me granny's bin. And it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. Well, now war has had its weapons since men began to fight, and everyone has different ways to try and show their might. The army has tried everything to cover up its sins, but now the plastic bullets fail, they're trying plastic bins. And it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. Well, go home, kind friends, and go to bed. Sleep as best you can. But if trouble comes along, get out and lend a hand. To all you fair young ladies, if trouble does begin, get out into the backyard, love and rattle away at your bins. And it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in. And it was scream, bang, shout, hey, raise an awful din. You've got to spread a warning when the army they come in.
There you go, Kev O'Dear, folks. Kev O'Driscoll from County Tyrone, but very much he's living down in the south there now. So you can catch Kev live on the show here, folks, on Sunday the 26th of March. He was meant to be on the 12th of March, but he's heading over to Manchester to watch Man United. Of all people, Jesus Christ, like I was getting on well talking about him, whatever, and he said, I can't do that date, mate, I'm heading over to Old Trafford. And I was like, red flag straight away. I was like, now Kev, Well, we're starting on well here. They started all their shite about going to watch them, but he says, no, it's not me, mate. It's my son who supports them, so it is. So I had to bring him over, So yeah, there he is, Kev. What's the crack, mate? Kev O'Dear just saying in, good man yourself. So yeah, Kev, as we live in the show, folks, on Sunday, the 26th of March at 2:00. Let's see, Sean P. Ferguson says, on our way to Tannadice, I want to see the jungle. Yes, we will get the Celtic Symphony on some stage today. I'll just get my ugly pic back on the screen so you can see it is live, folks. Here we go, yes, live with this thing here, this great goatee that's currently masqueraded on my face. It's been less comments than I thought today, so as much all think it looks well. I know the first time I debuted 2 weeks ago, people were like, what's going on here? What is that monstrosity on your face? But it's starting to take shape a bit now, so it is, so happy enough with that there. Kev, yep, hi Macara. Morris stuff, he says, my granny never got her bin lid back. See, Jim McCaff, track Jim says, big shout out to my dad, Ro, hey, your dad, hey, do you mean Ra? I said I don't speak, are you speaking Chinese here? Big shout out to my dad. Do you mean R-I as in Ro? He, as in hey, is turning 70. So what's your dad's name, mate? I'll give a shout out for him, but yeah, your dad's turning 70. My own dad turned 70 last year, so he's going to be 71 here in a few weeks' time. So he is, Carla March says, love that song. James, yeah, that sounds like an all crack. I'm again the 26th. Marty, yep, it's going to be an all great day. It is indeed, mate. Brilliant, not a problem. Cheers. Doc Sean, what is the crack, man? I seen you on the TV the other day. You're always getting your bacon in somewhere, aren't you? I hope you have the shit sort of your dumping all you're talking about that, but that's bad cracks with us. Right, next song we'll go do, folks. Yeah, so we're going to have another 15 minutes. We're going to have the two lads, Barry and Dylan from the Coolies, live on the show. So we're going to do a bit of an interview, and we're going to be playing their latest song that they've released as well. So I've seen we'll always sort of play 3 songs from any of the artists, but today we'll do the interview, and then we'll do the one song from at the end. Maybe if they start getting a few more tunes released, we will get a few more songs from them over the course of the shows. And also as well, Tony Cunningham, folks, who was the first guest of the year, still getting great comments to this day about his interview. His album Cancelled is officially released today. It's on sale on CD today, plus it's on all of the platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. So we'll see if we can get one of Tony's songs played today on the show as well. Great album, so it is. Kev just says, yep, really looking forward to the 26th of March, mate. Celtic playing today against Dundee United at 4 p.m. as well. Yes, Smith, just before kick-off, we're up until... Right, so we're going to do a bit of the Wolf Tones now. And so far, so good. And the Wolf Tones of the Irish Brigade Music has stayed on the show, and Facebook hadn't cut us off over the last lack of months, so long may it continue. So this one we're going to do is especially dedicated to my sister Anya, whose birthday it is today, and also to all the women of Ireland, actually all the women that played their part in this struggle. Actually we'll play out their song all the time, the one from Dacre McLaughlin, the Krista sings. Well, it's pretty clear in my head now, the song, what the hell do you call it? I Believe in You, which obviously is a song that Dacre wrote, dedicated to all the women of the struggle. So this one here, my man asked me around to play it for our on today, so I think it's all 6 minutes, but it's probably one of the best songs of Wolf Tones I've ever recorded. So all 6 minutes, this is all dedicated to all the women of the struggle, all the women of Ireland, and of course my sister Anya, whose birthday it is today. So this is the Wolf Tones, folks, from Rebel Sundays with Women of Ireland.
Women of Ireland, your glory's in the shade, your dreams they have gone and decayed, the deeds you have done, they that song by no bard or no one. For without you there is nothing except love songs in the wind, and all of your struggles and despair, and there were castles in the air. Shouted from every mountain on high, and the four winds will sigh for Ireland. Ireland's your glory, and your monuments built on your sorrow and pain. For if ever the seas and the oceans run dry, tears of struggles and of joy, and all of your sadness and your pain would fill the oceans up again. Daughters of Erin, to the common man, your dream was to see Ireland free. Through agrarian struggles, we're determined to win, and from there to begin. There you were, dressed for rebellion, but your beauty could not hide your sorrow and suffering and despair, and there were castles in the air. Shouted from every mountain on high, and the four winds will sigh for Ireland. Ireland's your glory, and your monuments built on your sorrow and pain. For if ever the seas and the oceans run dry, tears of struggle and of joy, and all of your sadness and your pain would fill the oceans up again. Women of courage, you suffered in your silence, you kept Ireland's spirit alive. You were imprisoned, your people enchained, but you never gave in. In troubled days of old Ireland, you were the brave ones who fought through oppression and famine and despair, and there were castles in the air. Shouted from every mountain on high, and the four winds will sigh for Ireland. Ireland's your glory, and your monuments built on your sorrow and pain. For if ever the seas and the oceans run dry, tears of struggles and of joy, and all of your sadness and your pain would fill the oceans up again.
Well, folks, that's the sound there of the Wolf Tones with the Women of Ireland, especially for my sister Anya, who's celebrating her birthday this afternoon, well, the whole day, and obviously all the rest of the women of the struggle. So, as you can see, folks, now we're joined live on screen by the two lads, Dylan and Barry. Here, can you hear me, lads?
Hey, yeah.
Can hear you? Yeah.
Yes, perfect sound. Decent, late, excellent. We're off to a good start. So we are. Hopefully, there's nobody in the background drunk and shooting anything in the background, is there? That's gonna not mess up the end. So, folks, we have here the lads from County Louth on the left hand side. Himself, Dylan, and then Barry on the right hand side. So, folks, welcome along, lads, and cheers for coming on the show today. It's good to have you on. So it is. So obviously we're going to start. We'll start off when we'll talk about the guests. We'll bring them in. Obviously there's two of you, so maybe sort of ask you maybe individual questions. But first up, we'll just sort of tell us how you started out in the sort of like where about you. Obviously you're coming from the south, so maybe a lot of people in the north mightn't be aware of you. So where about you grew up, and how you first got into sort of playing music. So first, Dylan on the left, just tell us your background, please.
A lot of people in the south won't be aware of us either. So, I suppose I'm a self-taught musician. I started playing when I was very young. Lots of different stuff, I suppose. Started out with a bit of folk music, and then it just kind of careered into kind of indie punk and that sort of crack. And then I sort of took a hiatus for a while, and I would do gigs here and there, you know. Usually support gigs to people like Andy Irvine, kind of real, you know, I suppose mellow folk, if you like. And so I that kind of continued for a while, and then I got into teaching, more the teaching side of music, and
okay.
And so I suppose after a while I decided I wanted to do something. I put an album together, I recorded it. And just when I had the album finished, I was asked to join another band. I was asked to join a couple of bands, actually. We won't go there. And so I kind of got back into the vibe of playing with people, which I'm always, I suppose, a bit reluctant to do, but I enjoy it. And then when the album came out, I suppose I was playing with two bands and trying to do my own thing at the same time, and then one of the bands that I was playing, and it just started playing more and more rebel stuff, you know, and I was enjoying it.
It got you back into the swing of wanting to do that kind of stuff then?
Yeah, well, it's something that would have been around a lot when I was, you know, as a child and when I was young. Yeah. There would have been a lot of it. And then I sort of veered away, and now I'm back, and I'm really enjoying it, you know. So, and I suppose the catalyst for it all was I was reading some of the Bobby Sands poems from the prison poem songbook, you know, and I started putting music to some of the poems. So one of them is actually on the album I recorded, and that's kind of where it started, you know, just getting back into the swing of it.
It's yourself, Barry. Tell us about yourself then.
Even saying that, Ro, I remember I met Pierce probably about 8 or 9 years ago. And even though he was doing his own stuff when he was into indie punk and everything else, the first song I ever heard him singing was Glory O to the Fine Fenian Men. It was, and any session, and we kind of met through sessions, and then we were and stuff years and years ago. I mean, we hadn't spoken for years. We just drifted off and doing our own stuff, and we were back playing again. But even saying that, like the two songs that comes to mind, I'm not contradicting you, right? What was the Fine?
You're always contradicting me.
And Arthur McBride, the kind of the stuff that was in the sessions was fairly rebelly, like no fairness, yeah. So.
Obviously, but yourself, Barry. So, what's your sort of background then? How did you sort of start out?
My background, Ro, comes like exclusively from fiddle playing.
Right, okay.
When I was a kid, I pestered my parents to get me a fiddle. I wanted to learn a fiddle, play a fiddle. My parents had taken me to Flas when I was younger, All Ireland Flas and traditional festivals, and I was hell bent on learning how to play the fiddle. So I've been playing the fiddle since I was about 10, and and was involved in the local cultists and Cooley bands and group of Coles and all that kind of stuff. And I felt very, I felt very proud of it, because where we are in Dundalk, like the whole area here coming up to Loud, parts of Monaghan, Cavan, Armagh, Fermanagh, it's all the old Oriel, the ancient Oriel, and the whole place is absolutely steeped in legend and folklore and literature, poetry and music. There's a whole well of like nearly spiritualism there in terms of Irish culture and music that I feel it's part of my responsibility as an Irish man to do something to keep it alive and add me bits, So I've been all the time focused on fiddle music and then, when I got older into my early 20s, I kind of fell out of the clique a little bit. I was living abroad and working abroad, and
he went to a bank and he was on the fiddle there too.
Was it the Northern Bank? Was it? All right, we'll not go there. So,
and I come back. Then I moved back to Ireland again in my mid-30s, and I got stuck into it again. I got lessons and workshops and one thing or another, and just started playing in sessions. And that's where I met Pete Dillon. Like met him up here in Cross. We were playing sessions together, and
so is that where you are at the minute? Then you're in Cross McLean, are you? Or?
I'm just down the road a wee bit in Dundalk.
Okay, no problem. Right.
Yeah,
so I sort of always ask when anytime we have like any sort of rebel singers or guests on from the south. It's always sort of good to get a perspective on. From coming from obviously from the north here, growing up as the sort of troubled, as they called it. I mean, and obviously with myself my house being raided constantly when we were younger and stuff, and getting a great sort of being in the face of the Brits for a lot of my life. Say obviously your own sort of republicanism, say obviously usually maybe a bit closer to the north than a lot of the bands we've interviewed. But what would your be sort of, would you have grew up like in your sort of family with a Republican background? I mean, or what's the sort of story there?
What you're talking about there would have happened a lot in the south too, Ro. Like we moved when I was a child, we moved. I was born in Lurgan, and we would have moved when I was quite young to the south. And again, what you're talking about, houses being raided, this sort of stuff. That's something that would have happened to us. When I was a child, they would have. But it wasn't the British Army coming in. It was Garda and stuff like that there, and possibly because we were from the north, we were singled out. Maybe it's hard to know, but that's it used to be the case that we lived in the south when I was a child. We would go up to my mum would take us then during when we had the summer holidays up to all my relations are in the north. I have no relations in the south, So we would have taken our holidays, if you like, in the north, in Lurgan, and my granny lived in Kilwilkie. Which is
great part of the country.
So that like I would have seen, I suppose, at that young age, a lot of what maybe people in the south didn't see, which would basically be the, I suppose, that level of what's the word I'm looking for? It's that in your face kind of antagonistic sort of.
But I think a lot of the times, with the guards. I mean, I've obviously been away on trips with the flute bands over the years in the south, and like they've been a lot more like in your face more than the Brits would be. Like, I mean, they take no shit. Like, I mean, I think I was talking in Dundalk. Dundalk is the place where they have the big fountain, is it, in the middle of the...
Yeah.
So we used to go there every year after like the Bonestown parades we did, right? So all the bands were all congregate in the middle of Dundalk. And I think it was one year we all went in. I think we bought like 20 bottles of fairy liquid and put it in the fountain. So we did. And literally the guards like showed up in about 4 of the old transit vans and got out Get out with buttons.
year, the same
Right, these
time.
Northies get back in their bus and fuck off. Bit like they were
Every
just.
year, same week, local paper in the Argus, loud and destroyed.
That was us. So it was. Us those Northie bloody flip bands come down causing mayhem, drinking bottles of Old English in the centre of Dundalk.
Yeah.
Good crack. So it was.
Funny, that's actually, that would have been a start for me as well. We used to, my cousin Brian from Lurgan, he actually taught me one of the things that I actually, when I was, I suppose, a bit younger, was I used to do the stick at the front, you know, the twirling the baton.
Oh, yeah.
At the front of the band, and would put me off one day, and it was great because it used to be you could make it yourself. You know, you made it yourself. You took the shaft of a broom and you took
two tennis balls or whatever it was, like
a tennis
right?
ball.
Yeah.
Your green, white,
That's it, why?
insulated tape, and you made your baton, and you went. And what put me off one day was we were marching over the bridge, the bridge in Dundalk there at the Lisdoo, you know, and they're at the front, you know, doing all of this, and then the next thing I looked up the road and I thought, what the fuck is this coming towards us? It was like a grey cloud or something, and it was rain, and it was sheet rain, and it was just coming towards us. And we walked, so you have to do it, you just walk right into it, and we got fucking soaked to the bone. And I remember thinking, I'm not doing this. This is a disaster. Oh God! I think
maybe it's just Dundalk. I think probably one of the last parades I done with the flute band when I was in the only Alsop was it when the hunger strike anniversary was in Dundalk, so it was, and it was probably the wettest parade I've ever done in my life. It was like as soon as we got off the bus, the rain was like torrential rain. You don't mind maybe starting off the parade and then getting wet, but see when literally you're starting off when it's just bucketing down, it's like buckets of water pouring on top of you, and you have to basically do this parade the whole way through town, and it was just like I think everybody was just like drowned rats at the end of it, and nobody wanted to stay for the speeches or nothing. They were like, listen, just get us home because it's just too wet. Like, so obviously talking about, you took your name of the Coolies, obviously of the great Cooley Mountains. I would be up there quite a lot, so would we'll work delivering in the Hanlon's yard and stuff. Obviously pretty close to where you would be there. But whenever I think of the Coolies, there's one person I always think of, obviously, legendary volunteer in West Belfast, Brenton the Dark Hughes. There's the song written by Maura and Mick McNally, the song The Warrior of West Belfast, and it mentions, obviously, where Brenton would have sort of spent a lot of his time in the Cooley Mountains. Was that a song would you ever think of recording? Have you ever sung it? Or, I mean...
Well, we haven't sung it, but that's a lot of at the minute, our and I suppose the great thing about it is we are sort of meeting a lot of songs that we wouldn't necessarily have heard before. And like that's what you had Damien Quinn on there a couple of weeks ago, or actually I was going back through your it was
actually the first interview of last year he was on, so it was so it would have been last January.
Like that was a fantastic interview, and then. Like the biggest takeaway for me from that was like that man has an absolute, massive repertoire of songs. Like I feel that's really important. I suppose in my when I started singing, a lot of it was it was traditional kind of folk. These traditional folk ballads. When you think of Flas and stuff, a lot of it's very, I suppose, traditional folk. And what we're doing now would not necessarily be frowned on, but it wouldn't be, I suppose, accepted in that sort of. I feel it's kind of not accepted.
Yeah,
like you couldn't go to a singing session and start singing, even Joe McDonald or something like that. There, it just wouldn't be the done thing. So and the great thing about what's happening for us now is we are coming to this, I suppose, fresh, if you like. Like there's a lot of stuff that we don't know, and people ask us, and we're like, when we get asked to do something and we don't know it, first thing we do is we write it down. Yeah, yes, you maybe want to learn it. Then we have to go and we have to we learn it, so that the next time we go to that place, somebody says, "Do you know this?" Actually, we do.
We have it for you.
Yeah, we can sing it.
We have it now, and it's sort of it's a reciprocal thing, you know. Like, and like what Damien Quinn has done. You go on to Spotify and you look at Damien Quinn's list of stuff. Like,
It's massive. Yeah.
it's unbelievable, and every song is a document to something that has happened. You know what I mean? The way a lot of traditional kind of folk ballads would be a document of a time, if you like. And like I suppose a lot of the stuff that's considered, you know, traditional and you know, a traditional folk ballad now, or they talk about a time maybe 100 years ago, but and more, you know, where stuff was happening, and now what's happening now, what people like Damien Quinn are doing now, like I firmly believe that stuff you're going to see in the ITMA, you know, and places like that very shortly, because they're a document of a time. And that's why what this has actually done for me, it has really, you know, started a fire in me to learn more about, you know, stuff that I'd forgotten, you know, history.
Yeah, definitely. I think you shouldn't be ashamed to be singing these songs. I mean, because at the end of the day, obviously you're in the south, but it's still like songs of our sort of history. And I mean, and I think a lot, particularly in the south, it's frowned upon. I think for a lot of places to even mention a lot of these things that sort of happen. Because I think obviously a lot of people in the south still see us as like probably like, oh, you're from a different country. I mean, don't see as you're only a few miles down the road. You aren't you aren't Irish like us. You are from Northern Ireland, and it really gets on my wick. I mean, there still is a lot of people from the south that have that attitude. You know what I mean? As if
there are a lot of people that have it, but I feel it's changing now. You know, like there is a change coming, and I think what's happening now, it was frowned upon in the south. It's not all that long ago. And I suppose when you look at what's happening in the news and stuff like that, there, you know, people having to apologise for singing songs like, you know, Celtic Symphony. It's absolutely deplorable.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know.
Because what that actually does is it discounts any of the history, you know, that we have. Not any and all of it, you know, because that's really it's part of who we are, like.
So see, you've been obviously playing now together as the Coolies, right? So as a band, but how long have you actually been together as in, like, good out doing gigs? Because I like a lot of sort of, when I sort of keep talking about lockdown, I know lockdown has sort of been and gone, but like a lot of the bands I've had on and guests I've had on over the last year or so, they've all sort of came to me through lockdown. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know of them. They'd been playing in bars and stuff for years before, but I only really knew of them from the start of sort of doing Facebook lives and stuff. With yourselves, it was only till Aidan Brown put a thing up. Yourselves were playing in Potter Brown's, and I was like, "Who's these guys?" I know, like on a Friday, he sort of used it for like debuting a lot of sort of newer bands and stuff. I mean, ones maybe not as well known singers to bring them in, get them known. So I wasn't really. You weren't really known to me until I seen Aidan putting the post up. So how long have you two been playing together as the Coolies?
Well, we only really officially packaged ourselves with the release of Grace, back in the first week of December. Like we had been playing as the Coolies before that, but that was our first sort of okay, this is who we are, with some sort of content to back ourselves up, really. And
it's the Crumlin Star gig, isn't it?
The Crumlin Star gig really kicked it off. You know, we played in the Crumlin Star. The first time we played in the Crumlin Star, was it in August?
I don't think it was August. It might have been November, was it?
No, before. It was before then, because we decided we were going to record Grace.
Were you playing in the bar there, or were you in the function room, or what was that? Didn't you know you were playing over in the Star? Obviously, people just know the Crumlin Star is the Star, like.
That was probably our first official Coolies gig, the Crumlin Star.
Right.
And that's kind of what, you know, if you like, fastened our belief that this was the path that we had to be on.
Yeah.
Because we went to it was actually Saoirse that set that up for us, Saoirse Promotions.
We'll talk about Saoirse in a minute. I've got it at their one of the questions.
They asked if they organised that we go up to Padraig there in the Crumlin Star. We were playing. It was after Celtic beat Rangers 4-0, was it? I think it was 4. So
So how'd that go for you? That's a pretty obviously lively Ardoyne crowd to go into after Celtic Hammer and Rangers. Like, how did that sort of? Was it? I take it wasn't straight in with a few. We'll get a few wee fiddly D ones to get you going here, folks. Like, was sort of straight in with the Rebs, like, or
because we went in and we said, what do you want? What what do you want us to do here? We can keep it nice and light, or we can go,
falling up the raft.
So, man, at the start, I'll just keep it nice and light. It'll be grand. So we started and we did a few songs. Then one of the boys came up out of the crowd and he said, "Here, you better fucking turn it up here." So that was it. It was just, we went, right, here we go. And it was
Samsung, get it on.
It was the best, one of the best gigs I've ever done in my life. They were such a great crowd. Like, they're really warm to us. And after they get,
I think you're very lucky here, because obviously I've played. I know there's a lot of people who watch the show here from Ardoyne, and like I just call them Northies, like, so does being a Westie, but they're very, Ardoyne people, to me they're a different breed of people, right? I know they're only across the road, but if they think they aren't enjoying your show, or they won't be too long telling you, listen, no, it is. You're going to get booed out of here. You're going to get booed off if you don't sort of give us what we want to hear. Do you know what I mean? But that's at least it sort of tells you what you're up for. Do you know what I mean? Instead of going,
honesty is the best policy. So it was actually when we did Grace that day, and when we finished Grace, they all stood up and gave us a standing ovation, and it was. Like, I don't, like, we still talk about it. Like, we've never experienced anything like it. We went home, we were going home in the car, and there was like we were in shock, I suppose a sense of shock, if you like, because this had never happened. Like, I've played a lot of, I've played fucking everything. I've done traditional folk, I've done, indie kind of punk, and I've played a lot of stuff, but the feeling that I had coming away from the Crumlin Star that day was like nothing I'd ever experienced. It was unbelievable, and that was it. We were, when that happened, we were just like, this is where we need to be, And this is why we go places now. They say, we give them everything. We give them everything we have. We we give it all.
It's a real. Like, when you're getting that much from the crowd row as a musician, you just want to give 100 times more back.
Definitely.
We play with our hearts on our sleeves. You leave it all on the stage and give them everything you possibly can, because it's just reciprocation. It's just wonderful.
It's respect.
Like, we come home in the car that day like we were in a magic carpet. We were just
Hi, Bernard, that's what you want, like.
No drugs taken, but we were fucking
just high on life. Obviously, you mentioned our Saoirse, so obviously Michael and Connor and Kate there, I would do a lot of work with them, and they've been great for me over the last few years, and long may it continue. So, how did that sort of connection first come about? How did they come aware with you, or how did you come aware of them? Because I know a lot of times, like, Michael would he would get contact from bars all over the place saying, "Can you get me a wee 2-piece or a 1-piece for this here, whatever?" And I know there's like groups he hasn't even sort of came in contact before with me. He made to say, "Listen, look, I know you are a bit of a rebel band. I've got somebody looking at a band. Can you do this gig for me?" And then there's a bit of connection there. So was that the same with yourselves, or did you know Michael or beforehand, or?
It was exactly the same for us. I think it was.
Gina was talking about it.
It was, I think what happened. I just kind of sparked up a conversation with Saoirse on Facebook, and I told them what we were about, and then I sent my own album down, and that's just kind of where it started. And then I think it was Padraig and the Crumlin put a
post up or something on Facebook, was it, looking for a band?
Facebook, and then Michael underneath, tagged me, and then that was it. And that's how that whole thing started, And it just seems like, kind of a throwaway thing, but I suppose the knock-on effect of that has had just, enormous.
Yeah, definitely. It's great. Yeah, I think the work Saoirse do throughout all over Ireland and Scotland, and that they're representing a lot of people. It's great to see somebody that's actually coming in and like taking obviously rebel music and sort of to put into the forefront and sort of actually working for bands. You know what I mean? Obviously I know there's a lot of bands that sort of be connected to them and would say, well, I mean, you don't get us gigs, you get them's gigs, you might just get them's gigs. But I suppose it suits, like there's a lot of gigs that mightn't suit certain bands. There's a lot of gigs will suit certain bands. But I think like yourselves, like we're being a two-piece. You will get a lot of work from Saoirse because a lot of bands, a lot of bars, that's what they want. I mean, I know that a lot of them don't want to have an outlay of sort of saying, I will have to pay for like a 4-piece or 5-piece band. But yeah, we can get along, we can pay a 2-piece. So having the connection there with Michael, it'll be great for you, so well, because he will definitely get you his work.
No, they're great.
All over the place. Like,
they've just done a massive amount for us, and it motivates us. You know, it motivates us to learn more and better. Like, you know, so
yeah, definitely. I think watching if anybody's not on the band's Facebook page, folks, go and have a look at it. Something which was great for me to watch there. You've done like a a 12 Days of Christmas kind of thing on Facebook with the Rebel songs, which was brilliant. So it was. But one did you record them all in one day? Because it looked like you were wearing the same clothes in all in the videos. So it did, like, because I know have you ever watched like Dragon's Den? You go watch and you go, they all just wear the same clothes because but apparently the way their thing works is they have one set of clothes that they wear for all the recordings, and they get dry cleaned and all. Everybody's going like, well, they must have sat there and just recorded all these videos in the one day. Like,
we're just really poor rebel musicians, you know. We don't have to change your clothes.
We're actually slagging each other about this. Jesus Christ, we have to buy some new clothes for this.
This is actually true. We were saying, because I suppose maybe it's like a uniform or something, you know. Next thing it'll be berets and
but it was quite cold in the camp. We were wearing the same jackets and stuff.
Yeah, it was. The
so
weather
what was the idea behind that? There, was that more or less just to try and get yourselves out there and just do something sort of obviously a wee bit sort of different because around Christmas time, or what?
I suppose it was a little bit of, you know, wanting to do a bit of promotion, and also because Saoirse were coming online and giving us the stuff, we wanted to
replicate, give something back to them,
to a certain degree as well, Ro. Just to show what we can do and how we're interpreting some of the songs, and just because we just launched Grace at the time, we had such a great response to that. We just wanted to give. We just wanted to give the people that followed us. We hundreds of people following us on Facebook, and we were just delighted that we'd sort of come, you know, right out of the blocks and with all this interaction with people, and we just wanted to keep it going. Really did.
And as well as like we actually had loftier ideas, if you like, or loftier plans. We didn't
have the clothes.
We did. We great idea. We just don't have great wardrobe. But we had kind of reached out to a couple of people, and we thought, to see if they would come on and do something with us. And that kind of, you know, you might remember during the lockdowns and stuff, people were doing this kind of a cappella thing where they'd do, you know, a lot of work with different collaborations on screen. And we reached out to a few, and they got back to us. But I suppose the way it sort of happened, it all kind of happened real fast. And the people that we had hoped to work with, like we were going to do, we were geared up to do a song with Caitlin Tierney and Eddie Kane from the young Wolf Tones and a few others, and then it just didn't happen. But the plan has sort of, if you like, it has changed a wee bit, and we're going to, you know, we're going to try and work something in this year where we do actually collaborate with people like that who will come into the studio instead of just kind of mucking about over.
See the actual recording is done with Grace. So we're going to play it there at the end of the interview here. But obviously it's very well produced in the studio. But so who was actually involved in that? There was it just the two users, or do you have another few people in playing different instruments? Or
no, we had a few people in.
We had
Dave.
Dave Malloy recorded it and produced it with us, and Dave did some of the guitar work.
Well, yeah.
We had Niamh Murray come in and do the vocal with us
from Lurgan.
She's from Lurgan as well. Yeah,
great Lurgan girl.
fabulous singer, and we had can't remember the man's name. What was his name?
Greg.
It was a studio musician.
He'll never work with us again.
This is your big chance to give me a shout out. You just couldn't even get my bloody name right.
He took us with an accordion and whistle here and there just to fill a few of the gaps. But the arrangements were all our own original stuff. And
yeah. So is there any plans to go and actually record a full album in as the Coolies? I mean, with all Rebel stuff, or what's I don't know, a lot of the bands now, what they'll do is like they'll maybe record one wee song, put it in Spotify as a single, and then record another song and put it out, kind of thing, whatever. And obviously
what we're actually talking about at the minute, Ro, is we've played in Patter Brown's in Dublin, and we absolutely we love it.
Yeah,
it's just a deadly spot, and the people there again, it kind of has that feel of the Crumlin Star, and Aidan is a lovely fella, and the regulars there, it's class, like.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about, we haven't said this to Aidan yet, so this will be a surprise. we were actually thinking about recording a live album in Patter Brown's, because it to me,
I was actually talking earlier on about the Chris's album, because obviously it's, even when the gigs I do now, when I'm out DJing and stuff, it's probably one of the most albums I'll play. Obviously, I like playing live stuff, and a lot of the Gary Ogan, the sort of our Ogan Irish Brigade live albums. But because I think Patter's, although it said I've never been in it, which I still need to go and visit the place. But everybody I've spoke to, and it's so small, but it's compact. But I think for a live album, it's the acoustics and all. It's great. Obviously, you listen to Chris Carney's live album in it, it's amazing. You can just really hear the crowd are right on top of you. You know what I mean? I think as long as you get the sort of right person in to do the recording, you know what I mean? Because I think his first time he tried it, whoever he brought in or whatever it was, didn't have enough mics, pointing towards the crowd or something, and all you could hear was him, and he wasn't happy with the way, so he got somebody in 2 weeks later to do it again, whatever. But it's a great live album. So it is. Actually, you said there about Aidan, I mean, for the bar, for the atmosphere in it, it sounds like a great spot. I really can't wait to go down and visit one of these days, like hopefully this year.
You should. It is a great spot, and it would be a great place, to kind of to do a live album, and that's, I suppose, it's kind of. The reason for thinking that would be the kind of the reaction that we get when we do play. We always get, we seem to get a great reaction. It's as big as it's a big surprise to us, But that's kind of where we're thinking. We've a few other ideas, like we talked about doing a song with Caitlin, so that's kind of on the cards too. So hopefully we can sort of. She's a busy girl, so it's getting.
Well, maybe get you a gig over to Glasgow then, so you might, and over there, and you could do it when you're over there, Never.
Well, the word is that we're going to Glasgow on the 24th of March to do gigs around. I think are we in Murphy's? We're in Murphy's, and he talked about a few other places. No, I know we're in Murphy's, but there's a few other gigs we're waiting on confirmation.
Have you played over there before? As any? No. Whether you're not first time experience then?
I've been to Glasgow, but I've never played.
I played a Celtic Connections there years ago, but different sort of a setup.
Well, you'll enjoy it then, too, like. So is there any plans for any sort of bigger gigs coming up for you, or any festivals? Or I know obviously seeing the Aidens, you're going to be supporting Gary Oak at Easter weekend there in Potter as well. Is a gig to look for?
Yeah, we only found that out last night.
Oh, did you? Right. He's been advertising for the last month or so. After you haven't looked at his social media.
I knew we were playing on the 7th, but I didn't know we were playing with Gary. So we're like, that's, and again, that's, when we think about, I suppose, source material that we go to kind of, imagine our own arrangements and stuff, that's great source material, like you
I definitely, yeah.
Gary's live stuff is great, so yeah, I've never met him, and I can't wait to meet him.
He is a really, really down to earth guy. Honestly, it's I think a lot of people have this thing of he's like this big sort of superstar and stuff, and he's up his own hole and all. And I've been lucky enough to spend a lot of time with him. Obviously, when we're doing a gig in Ballycastle last year there for Stacia. It was actually the night before we'd done the gig in the Crumlin Star, and I was down the cheers to Michael and Connor put me up in an apartment with Gary in Ballycastle, and one of them was sort of sitting the early hours of the morning, just obviously having a bit of yarn and stuff, and just good chats about just the whole scene and stuff, whatever. And he just has a really, like, it's for what he's obviously he's lived through, just the stuff he sort of done. I mean, on the scene of the last lot of years, you could read a book about it. You know what I mean? And but he's great. I mean, he will if you go and meet him, and obviously have a yarn with beforehand. Just, I mean, he's just a really nice guy. So he is, like, to have a good chat to. So he is. But I mean, I think for anybody that hasn't seen Gary obviously playing live, I mean, that's why I always call him. I'd say he's the GOAT, the greatest of all time in my eyes. Like, because, like, just for an entertainer, I mean, what he just, as soon as he just go on there, just. He doesn't use the whole thing with a stamp box or nothing. All he needs is a guitar. And to me, his guitar's falling to bits. So that's anything I've seen it. The thing is just like it's held together with bloody gaffer tape, and every single gig he breaks at least 2 strings and whatever. But all he does.
We need to buy gaff tape to hold one of the mics.
That's
right.
Listen, get every
can't afford clothes, can't afford a mic holder.
That's it, definitely. So listen here, obviously before we'll go and play Grace here, let you go on. I know you're heading to Derry this afternoon to go up and play in the Kosh with our very own Stefan, which is his t-shirt I'm wearing here now. So tell us a bit about this here gig, what's it for? And obviously I know it's the Bloody Sunday weekend in Derry this weekend, so what has you heading to Derry?
It's the Bloody Sunday commemorations this weekend, but the gig itself is a commemoration for Neil McMonaghan, who was shot by the SAS, and I forget what it was, but it was so that's kind of what that gig is for. And I know Connor's going to be there when we get up, so I'm looking. This will be the first time we've actually met anybody from Saoirse. So
Saoirse, okay. Well, Connor might be a bit worse for around. You probably see him, like I'd say, if he's been up in Derry this weekend, he'll be laying the corner somewhere. No experiences with Connor, like, but no, he's...
That's how we rob his clothes.
Here, one of his shirts would fit both of yous. So I can't talk. I can slag him because I'm sort of that size myself. You know, everybody else will go, you cheeky bastard. But
his fucking name was taken.
Right, well, listen, lads. Thanks very much for coming on. It's been a good chat. So it has good yarn. Hopefully, make it the meet you one of these days, like a lot of the people have on the show. So, we're going to play the Ballad of Grace that you recorded. It's on Spotify now. It's a great recording. So, cheers, lads. Much appreciated. And I'll see you soon, right? All right. Thank you. So, folks, we got there was 2 lads, Dylan and Barry from the Coolies. Great interview for me, obviously, I have to say. It was probably one of the best ones I've done. Really, really down to earth. And I think a lot of times you get these guys on and like it's a really bad connection and all stuff and whatever, and you can't see in the light and stuff, but it was great. So we're now going to play their version recorded in the studio of Grace. So it's the Ballad of Grace, folks, on Rebel Sundays from the Coolies.
As we gather in the chapel here in Old Kilmainham Jail, I think about these past few weeks. Oh, will they say we failed? From our school days they have told us we must yearn for liberty. Yet all I want in this dark place is to have you here with me. Oh, Grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. Now I know it's hard for you, my love, to ever understand the love I have for these brave men, my love for our dear land. But when Padre called me to his side down in the GPO. I had to leave my own sick bed, to him I had to go. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. Is breaking, well, my heart is breaking too. On this May morn as I walk out, my thoughts will be of you, and I'll write some words upon the wall that everyone will know. I loved so much that I could see his blood upon the rose. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will lie. With all my love I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. I'll place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. No, there won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye.
There we go, folks. That was the sound there of the Ballad of Grace from the Coolies. So Dylan and Barry, yeah, honestly, I'm getting loads of text messages sent through here as well now, and people going, mate, really enjoyed it. They're a great interview, one of the best ones yet. Definitely was. So cheers, lads. Two really nice, down-to-earth lads. So looking forward to eventually meeting the two of them. It'd be great. So say, a lot of the interviews you look forward to doing. That one generally was good the whole way through. So cheers for coming on. So let's say just loads of comments coming through there. So just wanted to say for Sinead, this says, Rory, to please play Grace in memory of my late mummy. Is that Sis Cece? McLaughlin Carbine, I don't know what others pronounce. Sinead, don't want to get it wrong. She was a good singer, and it was her wee party piece and all of the Sinn Féin bus runs. So I want to remember your wee mummy or Sinead. Valerie is saying the atmosphere in Potters would be brilliant for recording a live CD. Sinead, yeah, think we need to get these two fellas playing live in West Belfast. Sometimes both great crack, yes. So yeah, we'll look on that there as well. It'll be a choir night. Let's see. Maura Burns, yeah, great interview. Cheers. Yep, definitely. John McHoney says, yeah, definitely go and see the boys in Glasgow. Marty, brilliant interview, really entertaining. Yep, really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's all the way through. Just loads of great comments. So cheers, folks. Right, Jim McCaff is looking for. Can you play anything from Cruncher for his dad Alex, who's celebrating his birthday, big 70th birthday. Ray Callahan as well, great interview. Karen Dixie Downey, who whenever the lads were on there, I've seen their comment come through. Obviously, I was saying about we see people from the north as a different breed of people, because I do lots of gigs now down, so do it. Loads of birthday parties, probably like over in the Star or in the League and the Glen Park, few other places, whatever. And the maid are just mad. They're just crazy people. And you go to yourself, how come like there's like a wall that basically separates us, but maybe 10 minutes across the road, and it's just bonkers. Like, and actually Karen is saying, well, that's how we see Unions Westies, like completely different breed of people as well. But for my end, you're all nuts, Karen. But lovely people, like you are. But normally when I go in the hour down, it's straight in the door and out again. So it is that I get back to the safety of my own home in the West, the Wild West as we call it. Just looking through Facebook there, and I was a bit shocked, not to say, somebody who I have lost a bit of maybe respect for is Philly McMahon. I know a lot of these dubs here watching the show. Is like Philly's dad from West Belfast, he is, but he's probably one of the greatest Dublin players over the last few years. But he's been talking about the appeal being put in by Glenn, Waddy Graham's, about the match last Sunday. And he's basically saying, they should be ashamed of themselves putting an appeal in here. If they played the match and won that, or it'd be a tainted title, be a tainted medal, and then they should be more embarrassed if they get beat again. Just accept the beating. But Philly, I don't think so. Not a chance. I mean, end of the day, the Crooks team, they cheated. So they had 17 players on the pitch. 17 players. I know they had busy one was for maybe walking off, but he was still on the pitch while they were defending a free kick or a ball in. They still had 17 players on the pitch. So if they're busy for the Crooks here to come out and say, we didn't do nothing wrong, it's just a shame, whatever. The balls. I mean, it shouldn't have been for Glenn to have to put in a complaint in the first place. The GAA should have grew a set of balls and said, no, there is no. But obviously, because, again, this whole thing of, use Northy teams, we'll look after like the Dubs, we'll look after all these teams in the South, and if you want us to do something about it, you had to put a complaint in, which is bullshit. Glenn were done wrong here, you know what I mean? There were 17 players on that pitch. And at the end of the day, you look at the rules as rules. And Joe Brawley put it down perfectly last week. So he did obviously a good day, man. And he read all the rules out and basically said, and people were coming back, but what about this here situation? And Joe was like, no, that was different. This thing here is that 17 players on the pitch whenever they were defending a free kick. And anybody's eyes that can try and defend that, or it should have been a replay. Straight away, the GAA, as soon as it was highlighted, the GAA should have said, listen, we'll have to hold our hands up. There's going to be a replay of this match. It wasn't fair on Glenn. So for Philly McMahon, and sorry for all these Dubs out there, a few of you might support this team, this here Crooks team. I know Aidan put a post up during the week, Aidan Brown there, about, obviously he's a supporter of the team from Tala, is it? Obviously saying, this here team, they're like the Man City of GAA. Now, this here coming from a fan of Dublin GAA, who are like the Man City of counties of Ireland, do you know what I mean? Who have the biggest sponsorship of the play in the nice little stadium. I mean, Aidan, that there's tainted whatever you're trying to say there, but I get what you're saying about this here Crooks team. They done wrong, so they did, and there should be a replay in this match. And basically, Glenn shouldn't have had. And I'm not from South Derry or whatever, but it's clear for anybody to see that watched that game last week, or seen it, or even read up afterwards. For Philly McMahon to come out and say it there now is an absolute disgrace, Philly. And for me, you've went down a wee bit my estimations. You have, as somebody I had a lot of respect for in the past, definitely. Catherine says I worked with Sinead's mummy and Cooley. She was great crack. Right, so let's go to next. We'll get into all those comments, and there was a few maybe dubs now shooting in the extras. Next one, so somebody asked for the Rule of Honour earlier on there, so we'll do that now. Yes, folks, we'll have down to the last hour and 15 minutes of the show, so we have another hour and 15 minutes to go. So any more requests you want, any more songs you want, give us a wee shout. And if you want to share the show, much appreciated. So if you're watching on Facebook, hit the wee share button, just hit share, and go to any groups, any Irish groups, Celtic groups, whatever, and get it round. We'll get as many people watching the show. If you're watching on Twitter, give us a wee retweet. If you're watching on YouTube, just copy and paste the link from YouTube, and you can share it around all your feed. So here we go. It's the Irish Brigade from their album recorded live in the Sidewalk in Dublin. It's the Rule of Honour for whoever it was asked for earlier on. Here we go.
Next one, folks, is a song. Hope you all going to sing along with me. Song I wrote way back in the early 1980s. For 10 men who died on the hunger strike. A song called The Roll of Honour.
Read the roll of honour for Ireland's bravest men. We must be united in memory of the 10. England, you're a monster. I don't think that you have won. We will never be defeated while Ireland has some sons. In those dreary H-block cages, 10 brave young Irishmen lay, hungering for justice while their young lives ebbed away. For their rights as Irish soldiers and to free their native land, they stood beside their leader, the gallant Bobby Sands. Now they mourn Hughes in Malachi, Ray McCreech in Armagh Hills, in those narrow streets of Derry. They miss O'Hara still. They so proudly gave their young lives just to break Britannia's hold. Their names will be remembered as history unfolds. Read the roll of honour for Ireland's bravest men. We must be united in memory of the 10. England, you're a monster. I don't think that you have won. We will never be defeated while Ireland has some sons. Through the war-torn streets of Ulster, well, the black flags did sadly wave to salute 10 Irish martyrs, the bravest of the brave. Joe MacDonald, Martin Hurson, Kevin Lynch, Kieran Doherty. They gave their lives for freedom with Thomas McElwee.
Michael Devine from Derry, you were the last to die. With your 9 brave companions, with our martyr dead you lie. Your souls cry out, remember, our deaths were not in vain. Fight up and make our homeland a nation wanting. Let's see you singing it now. Break the roll of honor for Ireland's
united, we must be united. In memory of the England, you're a monster. England, you're a monster. I don't think that you have won. We will never be defeated. While Ireland has some sons, no, we'll never be defeated. While Ireland has some sons.
Go ahead, Jay. There we go. The Rule of Honour from the Irish Brigade live in the Sidewalk in Dublin, one of probably their best ever live albums. So that was for whoever was asked for it there. So whoever it was in the comments, let's see. There's the man, Beaver Snatcher. What's the crack, Beaver? Haven't seen you on the way. Good man yourself. Let's see. Ray Callahan was looking for George and Pop for Karen. Yes, I'm going to have that there on next. It was lined up, don't worry. James Deb McCleave. Roe is on a rant. Well, that some things, James, you have to say, you have to get off your chest. Definitely. Let's see. Robert Bennett says, Roe, a wee tune for the Garngad boys on the bus to Dundee. Bringing them home, please. But just talking about the bus to Dundee. So the team sheet is out, folks. Here's the team for the day. See, was Magic. was on the bench. So here we go. So let's see. Hart, Johnson, Carter, Vicker, Starfelt, Taylor. Great to see Taylor back in the team again now, left back. McGregor, Hatate, Moy. And what about Aaron Moy, folks? This guy is just, see from he's into this team full time, starting every game. He's just ran the show. Like, what a lot of people at the start were going, he's going to be another bloody flop coming in and stuff, whatever. And like, but here, definitely not. Ange, as he knows, his guys he's bringing into the team, well, majority of them. And from Aaron Moy has had a chance at the team. He's just. He's flying. So he is then Abada, Jada and Wikio going on the bench. Bain, Haksabanovic, Turnbull, Kalabashi. So there's hopefully we'll get a wee run out to see how he is today. O'Reilly, Maeda and Forrest. So that's the team for today, folks. 4 o'clock kickoff at Tannadice. Hopefully we'll get another big win this afternoon with a bit of luck. Let's get our ugly bake back on the screen again. Where are you? There we go. Let's see. Derek says, no replay. Crooks players gone away. What do you mean they're gone away? Ray is just saying, yeah, Glenn deserve a replay. The GA messed up. Wouldn't be the first time, would it, Ray? They've messed up. Terry Milley says, could you play a song called Josie Connolly? That one there actually was. Now, and you're sure that there was written by Maura? This is by Sean, but and you're sure that there was written by Maura McNally? So it was, she told me Maura and Mickey. Johan says, next weekend I'm going undercover to the heart of the enemy in London. What are you going to London for, mate? You're going to London, are you? Beaver says, I love the Phil Mitchell look. Cheers, mate. That's the one I was going for, so it was. Strong line up. Sinead, listen, at Beaver Snatcher, were you christened that name? It's unique. No, I still remember, a lot of the regular viewers will remember the first time that Dave come on. That's his name, Dave, so it is, by the way. It's not Beaver Snatcher. And we were just, I've seen some of the comments come up and everybody's like, what? Who the hell is this here guy? Beaver Snatcher? What the hell? And there was a lot of jokes and all going flying out and all whatever and stuff. And actually, for the week afterwards, I actually got like a wee picture of a beaver and put it on the screen. So I did. But yep, Dave's been with us here ever since, so he has. Definitely not. He wasn't christened Beaver Snatcher, I don't think, so anyway. Dave Watson says, yeah, one good thing about the lockdown is it got me to your site and other rebel groups like the Wolf Tones and Maeve Waltz have. You've got a little army like that. Yours, David Watson. Good man, thanks very much. Sinead, you'll meet him at Easter. Is he coming over here at Easter? Jesus Christ, don't tell me he is. See, Joseph, I'm going to use them tickets I won on the show a few weeks back, Tony Cunningham. Yes, Tony reminds me, so we'll go play a song from Tony's album as well in the last hour here. So cheers for reminding me here. Yeah, he won the tickets. Sinead, Jesus Christ. I'm not even going to say what you said there or something. Right, so next song we'll go to now. We'll do this here for... Who was it? So for Jim McCaff, so for his dad Alex, who's celebrating his 70th birthday, he was looking at a song from Cruncher. One of Cruncher's songs that isn't played for me enough. That obviously I've heard him sing this song many times. It's just haunting the way he sings this here song. So he does. I'm not even going to go there. Look at those comments. It's the Ballad of Tom Williams. This is on one of his albums, a definitive collection of various ballads. Something Say Too Strong, sung by Terry O'Neill. You can find this here on Spotify. It's a great album. It's probably the best album Cruncher's ever recorded. But yeah, for me, Tom Williams is one of the best songs on the album. And just obviously Cruncher in his heyday. Singing this song, it's spine tingling. So for Alex, celebrating your 70th birthday, Dad, the good friend of the show, Jim, this one is especially for you. And this is Terry, the legend himself, Cruncher O'Neill, and the ballad of Tom Williams.
Time goes by as years roll onward. Still in my memory, fresh I'll keep of a night in the Belfast prison, unashamedly I saw men weep, for time was fast approaching. A lot lay sentenced for to die, and on the 2nd of September to meet us God on high, and now he's marching to the scaffold. Erect he shows no fear, and while standing on that scaffold, Ireland's cross he holds so dear. Oh, now the cruel blow has fallen, for Ireland he has given all. He and the flower of his manhood proudly answered to her call. Brave Tom Williams, we salute you, and we never shall forget those who planned your brutal murder. We vow to make them all regret. Oh, a word, young Irish soldier, if on Tom's path you chance to stray, keep on memory of a morn when Ireland's cross was proudly borne by a lad who lay within their prison grave.
There we go. The legend himself, Terry Cruncher O'Neill. Great to see him up and about. over the last few weeks, seen a few pictures of him. So great to see him. We're all very, very worried there for a while, so we were. So it was spicy for Alex there, Jim's dad. Just have that picture again of that scumbag on the picture on the screen now for us. Obviously this weekend everybody's in Derry commemorating the 51st anniversary of the atrocity happened on Bloody Sunday. So we'll be on 3 o'clock now, so 1 hour to go, folks, and 1 hour to kick off this afternoon. Where's my thing? There it is there. Just got us back on. Right, so yeah, a few more comments come through. Just seen the lads in the Moor Drum. I've just put through there about for next anybody that's heading to the gig next Sunday, folks, in the Carrickdale. A lot of tickets have been sold. There's still tickets available. It's a massive big hall this year. It's going to be a great gig. It's bank holiday in the week in the south, so it is. So any of you are in the south, Watson, come up because you're off work the next day. So the running order is going to be so obviously myself. I'll be playing a few tunes just in the background from 6 to 7. Doors open. Liam McDonald, who's actually playing the Rock Bar this evening, so he is. He's on 7 to 8. Then 8 to half 9. Dreams of Freedom. Then 10 to half 11 it's going to be Clover, and then obviously then Gary Oak, the last 2 hours to finish the show. So it could be on there. It's going to be mainly standing concert with some seating, so if you want a seat, come early, folks. So really looking forward to heading up that next week. I'm going to be obviously introducing all the bands on stage, just playing a bit of music at the start. So really looking forward to seeing actually a lot of the bands as well, getting a chat with them, having a few pints. We're staying over, so I'll have a few pints myself. We're not heading home the next day, so really looking forward to this gig. So folks, tickets are still available if you want to go to the gig next week in the Carrickdale, the inaugural Break for the Border Rebel night. Again, here's the flyer for it. So it is. If you want to get tickets, just scan the wee QR code in the middle there, folks, and it'll bring you straight to the Eventbrite, or just search for Eventbrite on Google or whatever, and search for Break for the Border, and it'll bring you straight to the gig. €15, folks, for this lineup is phenomenal price, I have to say. Seeing another lot of lineups for more money for a lot less sort of bands is great. So hopefully going to see a few years of there at the gig, folks. Right, just back to a few more comments before we'll do the next song. Anne-Marie Barkley, what is crack, Anne-Marie? Watching in God's country. I'm going to have to step in here. Karen Dixie Downey says, Cruncher's voice immediately brings me back to my younger days and the days of the so-called Troubles. Anywhere we went in North Belfast, Cruncher was there doing a wee turn. Loved listening to him. Now, if any of went and watched the podcast I done with Cruncher, this is an audio only one, so it is. It's not on YouTube or anything, whatever. This one's audio only, but Cruncher is actually a Westie, so he is. I don't know if you knew that there, Karen. They did move to the high-rise flats in the New Lodge quite young age, but he is a Westie, so he is. And he did sort of say that he'd not deny anytime there's an argument in a bar or whatever it was, they're talking about the old days in the New Lodge and on North Belfast, and he'll try and butt in, and all his mates will say, here, listen, you're a Westie, so don't even be trying to come in here and talk about what happened in the North or whatever. You're just an honorary Northie, so you are. But either way, he's a legend, so he is. We all love him. Let's see. You didn't know what? Oh, I did know what. There you go. Well, there you go. Joseph McGoy, good shout. You said Jackie Dudley. Yes, I did say it. I'm going to play this here at the end of the show, folks. Okay, so started off with Sunday Bloody Sunday. And I'm going to finish up the show today definitely with Jackie Dudley. So if you want to hear that song, you need to stay tuned in to the end of the show today, Siri. Let's see. Johan says, Dan, we both know will be the case. Let's see, I think that's all caught up. So that's it. Right, so we'll do this one here now for Karen, who was looking for the bottle of Georgian Pop earlier on. So yes, mate, I know you meant Jackie Dudley. That's why I didn't say it there. So here we go. This is Callie's Men from Derry. A bit of a Derry feel as always the day of the show. And this is the bottle of Georgian Pop, folks, on Rebel Sundays. Here we go. Especially big Johan, this one as well. I know he loves this version.
On the slopes of the Craigan, one morning in May, 4 lads left their base with hard jumping gay.
Their cause was for freedom, a cause long denied, and the foreign oppressor they went to defy.
While patrolling our streets, they met with the foe. With the guns at the ready, our lads had to go. So we raise up our hands and we'll curse that British land who torment the very hearts of men who dare to cross their paths. But my heart is broken in two. Won't you tell me what to do? They couldn't stop our Georgian power. They'll not stop me and you. For the police, it went silent when the shooting died down. Two young lads lay there dead on the streets of our town. Just another 2 lives lost for the ongoing fight, and the Derry we mourn on that faithful night. So we raise up our hands and we curse that British land who torment the very hearts of men who dare to cross their path. But my heart is broken too. Oh, won't you tell me what to do? They couldn't stop our Georgian power, and they'll not stop me and you. Georgie and Paul, they like cold as stone. They're fighting for Derry, their own native home. So always we remember, and don't you ever forget, they're fighting for Derry, and we all there. Let's hear ya! So we will who dare to cross their paths, but my heart is broken too. Won't you tell me what to do? We couldn't stop our Georgian power, and they'll not stop me and you. So we'll raise up our hands and we'll curse that British land who torment the very hearts of men who dare to cross their paths. But my heart is broken too. Oh, won't you tell me what to do? They couldn't stop our Georgian power, and they'll not stop me and you. Thank you.
No, thank you, Mickey Kelly. There you go. There's the ballad of George and Papa, folks. A phenomenal album out there. If any of you haven't heard, if you haven't heard it, I don't know how, because it's playing my show every single week, at least one song from it. But you go and check it out. It's on Spotify. I think it's on YouTube as well. Kelly's Men live in the Creggan in Derry, and they're well overdue. Another album, another live album recorded. So lads, get the finger out and get on it. Yeah, she showed me posting a few gigs up there, folks, over the next few weeks. So I say this one here is going to be, is it March? So you may have seen me putting this here on social media the last couple of days. So Sunday the 5th of March, so Nancy Mulligan's, folks, they're going to be planning a big Rebel weekend that whole weekend. So for the Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The lineup is going to be announced very, very soon, but I'm going to be doing the Sunday afternoon swim. So I think that's going to be one of the days the show isn't on anyway. So, yep, I'm going to be playing down there on Sunday, the 5th of March. So stay tuned on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram for the Nancy Mulligan's page. They never fail when it comes to putting obviously Rebel gigs on there. Not afraid to spend a few quid and get the big bands and singers in. So, the weekend of the 3rd, 4th and 5th of March down Nancy Mulligan's in Castle Street. So get yourselves down there. So stay tuned there, folks. Check out their social media. You can find out what's happening. So I'm going to do 2 gigs with Gary Oak as well in the West. So the first one is going to be happening in the Rock over, I think it's... haven't got the flyer for it yet. It's hadn't been announced, but I think it's going to be on May Day weekend. So it is. So obviously it's going to be a bank holiday here in the north. So May Day weekend, that's going to be an absolutely massive Rebel Sunday in the Rock Bar with Gary Oak. And then a couple of weeks later, this one. So let's see, Friday the 12th of May in the West. So the West, just down the street, they're obviously trying to put on a few big gigs. So on Friday the 12th of May, Gary Oak is going to be in the big hall along with myself, folks. DJ Rebel Row, I'll be doing a few tunes at the start and then at the end as well. So looking forward to it. So cheers to Michael from the West for getting me in for this here. Much appreciated. Obviously this one here is in association with the lads from Sears Promotions as well. So that's going to be Friday the 12th of May. Gary Oak. Tickets are now on sale, folks. If you want to buy tickets for this one, you need to go to the West, the bar, and buy them. So a few weeks before it, May Day weekend, Gary is going to be in the Rock Bar, so he is, for a massive Rebel Sunday event. That hasn't been announced yet, so there's a wee bit of exclusivity there for you. So May Day weekend, Gary Oak live in the Rock. Obviously, that one's going to be all completely free the whole weekend, so really looking forward to that one. And then, of course, just these two as well. So on February, the Sunday the 26th. So that is a day that the show was meant to be on. That's actually the day originally the Coolies were meant to be on the show. But actually we moved them up a few weeks. So we could get this date available. So Sunday the 26th of February, folks, Scottish League Cup final. I'll be on down Nancy Mulligan's from 1 o'clock before the game kicks off. And then a few tunes at half time. And then straight up the road up to the home of Rebel Sundays, the Rock Bar, or upstairs. Marty and the lads will be playing twice daily before and after the game. And then I'm going to be on as soon as the lads are finished afterwards, play a few tunes before Rebel Sundays kicks off. So that's going to be a great day in West Belfast there. Hopefully Celtic get a win. Of course, against Rangers as well. So it'll be a great match to look forward to. So it will. Right, Sinead, I think you'd be better just sitting there with your finger on your lips here and watching the show, because you don't want to be getting spannered by Marty. You don't. You shouldn't have come in here, Dave, and start all your stuff here. Sinead was okay until you come in and just landed in. She did. Let's see. Sinead says, a spanner. Oh, well, Jesus Christ. Sinead, you've opened my eyes to you today. Honestly, some of these here comments, you're... Some of these comments you've been coming off with. So it is right, Marty. I think you should just spun on the two of them and get them out of this here chat, because we're getting sidetracked here. Dan says, great show, Ro. Off to watch the game. Catch you all in 2 weeks' time. The game doesn't kick off in over 45 minutes, so it doesn't. What are you at? Let's see. Carla McCrory says, she already got spotted, did she? Marty, must have been bad what she said there. That's good. Right, so I can't remember what we're going to play next. What do I have next? Right, so the lads are on the bus to the Dundee day, the last one, Garngad. I don't know if they're still on the bus. They could be in the stadium by now. I don't know. But they were looking for Bring Them Home. Obviously a song originally written for the Price Sisters, so it was. But a lot of their sort of bands sing it now. It's sort of maybe aimed at different sort of volunteers and stuff, whatever. But it's a great song. So this we're going to do the Tony Boy Ray version. I always love playing a few songs from Tony's latest live album. So this is Tony Boy Ray with Bring Them Home live. I think this one was recorded in Caesars. I'm near sure. Anyway, and this is for all the lads from Garngad who are heading up to the Dundee match today.
Well, he did rain on the air. It's a voice of a country so fair. Oh, can't you feel? Oh, can't you see? Set them free. Well, he did rain on the air. It's the voice of my country so fair. Oh, can't you hear? Can't you see? They are able to set them free. Well, in the jail, the hell makes me in that prison where he died. There lie 2 daughters of old Ireland, and they fill my heart with pride. For I know that England wishes that we let them die alone. But oh, the voices of old Ireland, they cry for us to bring them home. Well, we the trick on the air, it's the voice of my country so fair. Can't you feel? Can't you see? The IRA will set it clear. It was the love of dear old Ireland brought them to their prison hell. But the ghosts of Pierce and Conley, they guard their lonely prison cell. Tom Clark and one can stand beside them. Thomas McDonough, Sean McDermott and Montour. But oh, the voices of old Ireland, they cry for us to bring them home. We'll need a train on the air. It's the voice of my country so fair. Can't you feel? Can't you see? The IRA will set it free. So I pray you men of Ireland, don't betray our daughters too. Proudly stand behind the provost, unless they die for me and you. And although the tyrants may deny us, we can break their heart of stone. And all of Ireland will be saved when we bring our daughters home. Well, the train on the air, it's the voice of my country so fair. Can't you feel? Can't you see? They are able to set it free. Well, hear the train on the air, it's the voice of my country so fair. Can't you feel? Can't you see? The IRA will set it free. The IRA will set them free.
There we go. That's Tony Boy Ray there, folks, with Bring Them Home. So that was all for all the lads from Garngad heading to the bus on the bus today to Dundee. And let's see, Neil, you're exactly right. I hadn't even noticed that there. I should have changed that there. when I started the show off this year. You know, your cover still reads every Sunday. It's confusing. Well, miss, I know it does, and I apologise. Put my hands up. So I'm going to get that there changed for obviously for the next show we're on. I'll have that changed with a different cover here, and I'll have to change the wee time on it because I had to change the whole. Make up a whole new graphic for the screen, but thanks for highlighting that, Neil. Just wee things like that there you don't realise, you forget about, but you're always on hand to mark out my flaws, so you are. But listen, Neil, as well, thank you very much for the wee tip earlier on, mate. Much appreciated as always. You're an absolute legend, so you are. Thank you, and thanks to everyone today who's threw me a tip through, folks. Cheers to all, you all know who you are. Let's see. Marie's looking for Rebel Sundays today. Anthony McGill, what is the crack? Anthony, how you doing? How's things, bud? Great show so far. Cheers. And so here, what's happening, Anthony? I heard. So obviously you're leaving the reins at Derry City Sports and Social Club, mate. Sorry to hear you're going. So have you left yet, or what's the crack? I know the big night, you had the night planned for Tony Cunningham and Shay Doolan as well. So are you waiting after this weekend, or are you away and all? Or what's crack? But sorry to see you leaving, mate. I know you were loving it there, so you were. Neil says, that's why I'm here. There we go. Yes, Sinead, we're on here at 4 o'clock, okay? See, James, yeah. If any of us have enjoyed today's show as much as I have, please tip Donate Row. He's a legend who entertains us each week. He puts a show on. Love Rebel Sundays. Yeah, folks, we always are. Obviously, you'll see me putting this here up throughout the afternoon or whatever. The graphic. Obviously, it does cost me money to put this show on. It's not for the good of my health. I got to the stage here maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where I started doing this here serious and more or less properly, where it does cost me money to put the show on. So without all your tips and donations, folks, each and every other week the show's on, I wouldn't be doing it. So cheers to you all. Thank you. If you want to leave us a wee tip or a donation, all you have to do is simply you can there's on the side of the screen there. Let's see if I can point this right. I think it's there that way. Yep, so that there one there is for PayPal, and the one up there is for Revolut. So just scan your phone over the wee QR code there, and it'll bring you straight to the link. If you want to send me a donation to the show, folks, and say, it's a lot of these who don't understand the background costs I have for this here to keep this going. It's not just if I go and turn on the show, I mean, it's and plug everything in. There's a lot of money involved in the background. It takes me to do the show each week. So for everyone that sends me a tip every single week of the show, when the show's on or whatever, and then again, honestly, I really, really appreciate it. So if any of us can't spare a few quid, I know we're all in hard times, so we are, but whatever, much or little as possible, drop it in there, folks. It'd be much appreciated if you can drop me in. So it does help keep the show going. You know how much I do appreciate it, so I don't want to keep going on about it, but cheers. Right, let's see. Anne-Marie was looking for my last farewell. Let's see. Anthony says, yep, last day today for Tony and Shay. And that's me, bud. My own work just getting very, very busy. I'm sure it is, mate. That's how I could understand, like, because I know the work your main job is. And I was like, Jesus, how the hell does he do this job plus do run the bar? But mate, listen, I just want to thank you from myself for all the gigs and all you give me in the bar and stuff you've done for me. So thank you. You were great for that there bar when it was going there when you were running it. So fair play to you. I think the bar was definitely better for it from when you were there. So good luck. I'm sure they'll be sad to see you leaving the place. And we are going to play a song from Tony Cunningham from his new album, Cancelled. After we had him on the show, very, very first guest of the year. So we did. So let's see. Right, what we'll do next? 2 seconds. What do I have lined up? I'm just trying to think, what song did I have lined up there? Right, so Lynn Houston had asked for a bit of Sinead Dirt says, Rory, will you advertise the dates of your show on Facebook? I thought it was every week, but I'll watch out for the dates and times. No, it was every single week, Sinead, up until obviously start of this year. But it's been put out there. I was for busy scrapping the show altogether, going, let's look, it's run its course and all. But obviously the people watching the show still want it to go on, so we sort of said, listen, we'll go do it every 2 weeks instead of every week, which still means obviously every other week I can still go and do something with the kids or whatever, and then every other week we'll go do the show. So, but Sinead, just watch it my Facebook, because every other day I'm posting stuff about what dates is on next and who's on next. But all you have to know is basically the show is going to be every single 2 weeks. So obviously it's not on next week, it'll be on the week after. It's not on the week after, it'll be on the week after. Do you know what I mean? And if I'm not doing a show for any reason, I'll let people know why I'm not doing it. If the show's going to be cancelled or whatever, I'll let you know. So just think every 2 weeks, all right? But Sinead, I have to say it's great to have you on the show now, Watson. And you know I've known you for a very, very long time, so it's great to have people like yourself, good Republicans, in watching the show. Right, so we're going to do 2 girls now singing in a row. What we'll do is we'll just play this song and then the next one straight in. So, which is something we don't do a lot, but I need to run to the toilet. So we're going to play a bit of Krista Coyle first. So we are. Obviously, Lynn had asked for a bit of Krista Coyle, and we're going to play Krista's version of Wally and Danny. I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah, Krista's version of Wally and Danny from her album, From the Streets of Free Derry. Class album. She still has some copies available, so go and check her out on Facebook. And then we're going to play another great rebel singer from Tyrone. A lot of people call her the Queen of Irish rebel music, Emer Niclahan, who was lucky to still have teeth. After the last gig I went to go and see her, she knew how to go to Turkey to get her new teeth put in. But enough talk there. We're going to play her version of Farewell to Blahy, McElwee's Farewell, for all the South Derry ones. So up first here we go. This is Krista Coyle with Wally and Danny, and then we're going to do Farewell to Blahy from Emer.
Tired of seeing this police all day. I said, take your blindfolds off, you hypocrites, and help get us off the ground. And please say it isn't so. While Willie and Donnie, they had to go. The reason's very clear. The laying down the lives for us year after year. 70 shots between their bodies. Not one of those bullets had missed. And that's for every trigger that we pulled that morning. A volunteer will enlist. And for 5 long hours they left them lying there. The priest, he was turned away. And that's another step lower for those SAS bastards. We'll never forget that day. And please say it isn't so. While Billy and Donnie, they had to go. The reason's very clear. They're laying down their lives for us year after year. The funerals were to prove their worthiness as thousands that thronged the streets. And while the postal boys hovered helplessly overhead, the riot came out to salute.
Balahi for this next song. For all those ones in from around South Derry and Balahi. Song for a brave volunteer who died in hunger strike in 1981. For Tom McElwee. A song called McElwee's Farewell, or Farewell to Balahi. So if you know it, you can sing along with me. Farewell to Balahi, like wise Tom the dove, and the green hills of Derry, this I dearly love. My thoughts return to you from my dark age locked cell. So friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. For hundreds of years now, we've kept up the fight, and the history book told me of Ireland's plight. With Francis and Dominic, I followed the call to conquer the tyrants and defy England's laws. So farewell to Balahi, so farewell to Balahi, like wise Tom the dove, and the green hills of Derry, that I dearly love. My thoughts return to you from my dark age locked cell. So friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. Through the hills of South Derry, we marched and we drilled to our exploits in action. All Irish youth thrilled, most feared men in Ulster, volunteers on the run. We give England her answer from the bars of our guns. So farewell to Balahi, like wise Tom the dove, and the green hills of Derry, that I dearly love. My thoughts return to you from my dark age locked cell. So friends and brave comrades, I bid you farewell. Oh gallant South Derry, you're forever blessed in your struggle for freedom. You've given your best. There's shoes and a faces for Sheridan and Lee, and inscribed with their names now. Hey, brave Tom McElwee. So farewell to Balahi, so farewell to Balahi, like wise Tom the dove,
There we go. There's Emer Naglahan there for you with the ballad of McElwee's Farewell to Blahy, and then before it there, Krista Coyle with Willie and Donny. Two great Irish lady female singers out there doing the gigs, representing, so fair play to you girls. Yeah, had a wee break there, folks, so cheers for that. I needed that. So just see her in as well. For any of you Liverpool fans, especially Marty, Jesus Christ, TalkSport have nailed it here. The Liverpool Football Club having the shocker of a season. 9th in the Premier League, out of the League Cup, out of the FA Cup, up next, Real Madrid in the Champions League. What a time to be a Liverpool fan, eh? Jesus Christ. I still say that Salah hasn't been the same player from Mane left. I don't care what anybody says. Letting him go was the worst thing they could ever do, but it's really want to lead, didn't they? Like? But yeah, that's for all you Liverpool fans out there. Sinead says, my apologies to Rory, Marty and Lane for my earlier inappropriate comments. Sinead, nothing to apologise for. Jesus, that's what it's all. It's all about a bit of crack, but I just you shocked me a bit coming off it there. I was like, what? Jesus, Sinead. That's like you to come up with something like that. So it was what's he said? Shh. Let's see. So James says, I'm waiting for this year's fans gathering announcement. The last two have been fantastic. Myself and the family will look forward to them. Just brilliant memories made. Well, yes, in the minute trend, it's going to happen this year. Definitely going to happen, and it is going to be around the same date again. So and hopefully, so all the ones that missed this year, all the obviously our regular Dublin ones and the ones from Glasgow who couldn't make it this year because they buggered off and left us. Well, not talk about it there, but obviously, hopefully, some make this year's in Belfast. Definitely going to be in the same weekend, the first week in December. I'm just talking at the minute about getting the bands sort of for it and the venue as well. So stay tuned. It's definitely going to happen, folks. So hopefully this year will be a wee bit bigger than we had last year. So it will. But stay tuned for that. There, it's definitely going to happen this year. So don't you worry about that. So hopefully we'll see us all here in West Belfast the first week of December. So it's going to be a great night. So yeah, cheers for reminding everybody out there, James. There he is, the man himself. He was hiding there. She was seeing Limerick and hammered by Derry yesterday. Afternoon room myself and my wee daughter Fia listening in. Cheers, mate. Peter O'Connell there from Clover today. Ciara Griffin, yet two amazing singers. P. O'Neill says, yeah, thoughts and prayers to all the families of Bloody Sunday. We shall overcome. See, I think that's all caught up. All the comments, or is it? Brilliant news. Sinead, I'm a wee bit scumbler now. Mark Reid says, yeah, Liverpool fact my coupon for 124. Listen, folks, if any are doing a wee bet today, the banker of the day has to be Wrexham. So it does Wrexham against Sheffield United. Wrexham at home against Sheffield United. I don't care. If any haven't watched the documentary about Wrexham from obviously Ryan Reynolds and what's his mate called? McElhenney. What's Ran and what the hell is his last name? Rob McElhenney come in, basically bought Wrexham. I know a lot of times a lot of these people come in, celebrities, and just want to come in to buy these clubs just for publicity. You know what they have done for that town alone, like, and for the club has just been amazing. Like, I mean, it's a great documentary. Go and watch it. It's on Netflix. So I think it's called We Are Wrexham. Really looking forward to the next installment. But they should have been probably promoted into the Football League last year, but they just sort of fell short in playoffs. But they've put a great team together. Obviously, a few quid in there. So I'm going to say today, they've done, I think it was Coventry in the last round, but they're playing Sheffield United today. So we'll say that's get on Wrexham today, folks. That's your banker. So let's take that from me. Welsh, no thanks. What's wrong with the Welsh? Come on. Our fellow Celtic brothers on it, James. Come on, the hoops indeed. Right? Yes, another 20 minutes kick-off. Another 20 minutes, or what, or 15 minutes of the day's show left. So we're 15, 20 minutes to go and then kick off, folks. Hopefully go see the match myself with a bit of luck. If my fire stick is working. Right, so next tune we're going to do here is obviously another sort of song around Derry today because of the Bloody Sunday, obviously, weekend. So we mentioned earlier on, we're going to do a song from Tony Cunningham as our guest, the first show of this year. So his brand new album, which we talked about when we had him on the interview, called Cancelled is now released. It's on CD. He's going to be selling CDs tonight at his gig in Derry. So if any of you are there in Derry, get a copy of the CD. It's also now available on all the major download sites, on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all out there. So we're going to do this here song here. That it's one of the sort of 3 or 4 Rebel songs on the album, written by Bobby Sands and Long Kesh. Back home in Derry, obviously made famous by Christy Moore, so it was. So here we go. This is Tony Cunningham, folks, with Back Home in Derry on Rebel Sundays.
1803 we sailed out to sea, out from the sweet town of Derry. For Australia bound if we didn't all drown, marks of our fetters we'd carried. The rusty iron chains we cried for our wains, our good women we left in sorrow. As the mainsail unfurled, we curses we hurled at the English and thoughts of tomorrow. Mouth of the foil bid farewell to the soil, as down below decks we were lying, where Doherty screamed, walking out of a dream, by a vision of bold Robert dying. Sunburned cruel as we dish out the gruel, Dan O'Connor was down with a fever. 60 rebels today bound for Botany Bay, how many will reach their receiver? Whoa, I wish I was back home in Derry. Whoa, I wish I was back home in Derry. Curse them to hell as our bow fought to swell, ship danced like a moth in the firelights. Wild horses rode high as the devil passed by, taking souls to Hades by twilight. 5 weeks out to sea, we were now 43. We buried our comrades each morning. In our own slime we were lost in the time, an endless night without dawning. Whoa, I wish I was back home in Derry. Whoa, I wish I was back home in Derry. Van Diemen's Land is a hell for a man to end out his whole life in slavery, where the climate is raw and the guns make the law, neither wind nor rain care for bravery. 20 years have gone by and I've ended my bond, my comrades ghosts walk behind me. A rebel I came, am I still the same? Oh, the cold winter's night you will find me. Whoa, I wish I was back home in Derry. Whoa, I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry.
There we go, phenomenal voicer, Tony Cunningham, folks. What a guy, what a voice indeed. So Tony is live tonight in the Derry City Sports and Social Club alongside Shay Doolan. Shay is doing a few gigs over around Derry this weekend, so he is in Donegal. So Shay's going to be kicking things off, then followed by Tony. So the gig is sold out, but there's a few tickets maybe you can pay at the door, which we've been told. So get yourselves up there, folks. If you're in Derry at a loose end this evening, get up to the Derry City Sports and Social Club. If you want to hear that man's voice, what a singer. Going by his interview, he's going to put on a great class live show. So he is. So last 2 songs of the day for you, folks, unfortunately, we're going to do here. So obviously we're going to finish up with Jackie Duddy. So we are. And we're going to play a song for the ones from the Mara Drum, Sinn Féin Coming, who were looking for Martin Doherty. So we'll do that there next as well for you. So obviously talking about the Mara Drum Sinn Féin coming, folks. So next week with no show on next Sunday, we're back the following week. So for next Sunday, we're going to be here. So any of you are up and around Dundalk, obviously it's a bank holiday on the Monday, so it's after this gig. So break for the inaugural Break for the Border Rebel Night, folks, Sunday the 5th of February. Carrickdale Hotel, Dundalk. Tickets are €15. So I'm going to be there along with obviously Marty and Elaine's going to think, and James coming over from Birmingham for the gig. And who was it? What won the tickets as well? The other one, was it Paul something? Clean off my head now. He won the other 2 tickets. So hopefully see a few of you there. Be a few great bands singing. So it's opening up myself 6 to 7, and then Liam McDonald will be on, followed by Dreams of Freedom, then Clover, and then finished up with the main man Gary Ogue. The finish off the night, so it'll be a great gig, folks. So tickets are still available. €15 for that lineup is amazing. So this will be the inaugural Break for the Border Rebel Night. So thanks very much to the lads for asking me to come along, be part of the night, and obviously promote it for them as well. Really looking forward to introducing all the bands on stage. So if you haven't seen me before in person, I'll be there. Come and say hello. If you want any photographs or anything, we'll do it, whatever, not a problem. I will be hopefully having a few wee drinky poos because I'm off work the next day, and obviously we're staying overnight, so we'll be heading home. So right, so this next tune we're going to do here is for the lads are from the Mara Drum Sinn Féin coming in County Louth. They were looking for the ballad of Martin Doherty from Spirit of Freedom. This version, so again, words can't describe what Martin Daco done that night in the Widow Scollins pub in Dublin. He saved a lot of people by his actions. Obviously, he gave his life for it there. So, big shout out to Daco. So, here goes the ball of Martin Daco Doherty for the Mara Drum Sinn Féin coming. So, hopefully, see us all at the gig next Sunday, folks, in the Carrickdale. Where did that disappear to? Here we go.
Throughout this lovely land, many stories has been told, and songs about our martyrs, of heroes brave and bold. But there's none that's more greater than the ones held so high, who gave their lives for freedom and the cause for which they died. And Martin Doherty told me many years gone by, I fought for Ireland's freedom, and for this I'll die. Raised in Finglas, with a family staunch and true. In his young days he always dreamt of, and his heart he always knew, for the fight for Ireland's freedom against the forces of the crown. So he joined the IRA, the Brigade of Dublin. And Martin Doherty told me many years gone by, I fought for Ireland's freedom, and for this I'll die. Many years he spent in prison, a place we all know well. Those days he thought of freedom while in a portly cell. The years and months went by, and his day of freedom came. The struggle for his country, with the path he chose again. And Martin Doherty
gone by, I fought for Ireland's freedom, and for this I'll die. On May the 21st, the year was 94, outside the widow's gallant, he was standing by the door, when a group of cowardly gunmen, a bombing in their sight, was stopped by an Irish soldier on that fatal night. And Martin Darby told me, many years gone by, I fought for Ireland's freedom, and for this I'll die. So farewell to you, Daco, farewell, a soldier brave, your life so cruelly taken, and many lives you saved. You died on that evening, so others they might see a land of peace and freedom and of liberty. And Martin Darby told me, many years gone by, I fought for Ireland's freedom, and for this I'll die. And Martin Darby told me, many years gone by, I fought for Ireland's freedom, and for this I'll die. Yes, you fought for Ireland's freedom, and for this you die.
There we go. That is the sound of the ballad of Martin Docherty there, especially for Pat there, all the rest of the lads from the Mora Drum, Sinn Féin coming, County Louth. Well, a second, I'll get this on here. So the last song here. Folks, yep, we're going to finish up the show with Jackie Duddy today. Obviously, we'll start off with a song about Bloody Sunday, and we're going to probably finish off with probably one of the best songs about Bloody Sunday ever written. So it is, so we'll have to finish the show today with that. So thank you to you all, folks. It's been great crack today. So it has Sinead. Don't worry, you haven't embarrassed yourself. You've good crack as well. Say you raised my eyebrow for your comments, but that's what it's all about. Cheers to everyone for getting involved today, folks, for all the tips, donations. You're all legends. Thank you very much. There's the lads there from the Chancers. What's the crack? See, is only jumping in now. Cheers, lads, for tuning in. Don't forget, folks, these here are two balloons. Say it in a nice way. From over in America, are going to be our guests on. Let's see what date we're going to have these on. Just find out the date now. Let's see where we're. So on. So our next live show, Sunday the 12th of February, is going to be the two lads, the Chancellors, are going to be on live from America. So they are. Hopefully they can get themselves up out of bed at 10 in the morning. If they've been gigging the night before. But if Neil Costing can do it, get on here for 8 o'clock live in the morning. I'm sure these ones can do it as well. So cheers to the Chancellors for tuning in the show today. Much appreciated, lads. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, where's my bloody thing go to? There's there. Yeah, thanks for all the comments, folks, today. Say all the tips, donations. You're all great, honestly. Really good crack at Ace. What has says Brent McCann says, yeah, big thanks, so spot on. Great show again. Thanks to all. And I just seen Eddie Kane there popping up as well. Where's Eddie's comment? Where's it? Eddie Kane, musician. Hello from Florida. Eddie is over at the minute touring with Derek Warfield and the Young Wolftones. So Eddie, fair play to you, mate. Loving life over there, living your dream, mate, and no better man for it. So fair play to you, son. Hope you're having a good one. Right, folks, we're going to finish up here with the ballad Jackie Duddy, written by Jerry Dougie Breslin, and this one here goes out to all of the victims and all the families of Bloody Sunday. So whatever you're doing, the rest of you are doing, folk, the rest of the day, enjoy yourselves, be safe, and I'll be back again on the 12th of February, so not next week, the week after. So hopefully see a few is next Sunday up in the Carrickdale in County Louth there, folks, for the big inaugural Break for the Border Rebel Night. It's going to be a great gig. So here we go. This is Jackie D, folks, on Rebel Sundays. Myself, Ro, Tucky Ard, see you all in 2 weeks' time. Thank you very much.
Jackie, I remember your face from a far distant place. Yes, I do. Jackie, you were an innocent boy. Why did they destroy your future road to you? You came from a home of 9 sisters and 5 brothers. Up in the Craigan, you were my cousin. You worked with me brother Dustin, named after me father, down in springtime, tending looms. Jackie, you were just 17 when they shattered your dreams, and we never got over it. Jackie, you'd have found a good wife and had a wonderful life and raised your weans well. In 68, your mother Maureen, she died, and with Willie, your father, we cried. She was so very young. Her sister Dolly said if Maureen had survived, she'd have been in the coffin by your side. Your mother couldn't have coped. Jackie, you were good in the ring, 'cause that was your thing. You would have been a champion. Jackie, your nephew John did you proud. He's recognized by the crowd as fulfilling your ambitions. Your face is painted in murals down in the bog, and I pray to God that you'll not be forgotten. That day in 72, it's etched on our minds, the day that innocents died. They called it Bloody Sunday. Jackie, there were 13 others as well, more unfinished stories to tell. Jackie, 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 our Jackie, Jackie Duddy. On a summer's day in Derry in 2010, thousands gathered again, and the world had gone. The British government said sorry and admitted they're wrong. The clapping went on and on, the cheering went on and on. Jackie, your innocence was declared, your family's voices were heard after 38 years. Jackie, now you can rest in peace. The false accusations have ceased. The truth has been set free. Paddy Doherty, Gerald Donaghy, Hugh Gilmore and Michael Kelly, Michael McDade, Kevin McElhenney, Bernard McGuigan and Gerald McKinney, Kinney, William Nash, James Ray, John Johnston, John Young, and Jackie Day. Jackie Duddy.
That's us, folks. Normally we'll put up the tricolour, the flag, whenever we'll finish up the show, and we'll play around the vein. So I'm just going to keep this here picture on the screen of this absolute scumbag, Jackson, of this mural that's been painted in Derry. I want to know, somebody had said that it was paint bombed last night covering his face, which I think it was maybe not the right thing to do. It should have stayed up and let people see this man for what he's done. He should be tried for war crimes. But here we go. This is we're going to finish up around the vein, folks. As normal, we'll finish the show off. I'll see you all 2 weeks' time, and then hopefully I'll see a few years in next Sunday at the Carrickdale. So thank you very much.
Genevieve apart at Safi Alligator Queens ourselves our tender rannicum they buzz face hair chanting a share pasta the akbar Pantera not Pental and dots I in Sabar well they can kill on was no sell they gone their scrape they love now be live Charlotte cannon around
You've been listening to Rebel Podcast of Rory Carson. To listen to this and past episodes again, and to also check out future episodes, keep an eye on our official SoundCloud page. We're also available on all social media outlets. Just search Rebel Podcast. Bhí si bhgéisteach an sin is an fád Cooley Rebel le Rory McCarson. Le héisteach le seo agus hir hagran a ríis, agus na hagran atá le teach, caisúil ar siúificail sugin ar SoundCloud, agus táid ar fáil ar gach cinneal ardan ar na main thuaisiilta. Ní mór ditch ag fád Cooley Rebel a curda.